got OBS open. It even, well, the bot's like a separate thing, I guess. So that's like annoying. It doesn't like, it's not like saying that bro is live. I'm gonna disable streamer mode real quick so I can get that setting. Weird. Why is this not on? Oh, now it's going. Cool, I had to turn it on and off again. Now it's going. Cool. Thanks. Thanks. Oops. I went to copy and paste the thing in, the link, and I just copy and pasted the skull because I hadn't actually copied it. That's funny. There we go. Cool. I still gotta, I just like, it was a good time to start the stream. It said 4:04 and I thought that was funny. So I just hit go live. I don't have anything set up. Aha! I got some of the stuff working now. I don't know what's happening. Well, it's not really a problem, but Throwing System has been doing this thing for a while now, where every time I launch it, it gives me an error, saying it like can't like auto-update or something. But then if I just hit OK, it just boots up normally, like it still launches fine. Like I guess it's saying it like can't connect to check if there's an update, but I don't know. It's working, so I'm not gonna worry about it. Get Fatal 12 up and running. Everything's running really slow for some reason. I'm not exactly sure why. Sekai. Oh wait, didn't we determine that Fatal 12 like hated being full screen? Hold on. Hello. Didn't we? Oh. Well, you're not supposed to see that. The illusion has been broken. Okay, cool, it's capturing. Nice. You can see my mouse, right? Okay, cool. But we figured out that, like, this game hates it when it's full screen, right? Yeah, it doesn't want to, it won't capture if it's full. Oh, I also can't see my mouse. That's cool. Cool. I have no way of seeing my mouse. Amazing. I have to try and judge where my mouse is based on looking at it, because I can see it in OBS, but I can't see it on my monitor. There we go. Okay, now I can see. Okay, well, uh, I guess we're not doing full screen because it doesn't work. Also, are these still broken? Is this still broken? Nice posture. It is still broken. There's no sound. What's wrong with that? That's this. Nice posture. Oh, it's on cooldown. Rip. Nice posture. Yeah, I don't see anything. I don't see any... Maybe it is a Windows setting that's gotten messed up. Or maybe they removed the... Maybe the functionality for the sounds has been removed, or maybe that's like a separate thing in here that I'm not paying attention to. OBS. Now I don't see the I do not see the thing in Windows for my browser sources. Normally, I see like a browser source or like in the Windows sound settings, they'll have OBS, but it'll also say like Stream Elements like web source or something like that. I don't see that here. So maybe the audio is just broken, but I don't see the audio going in anywhere. So maybe there's no more audio. I'll refresh the GitHub thing just in case. DPXN. It will automatically receive any rewards name and image and display a notification. I'm gonna log in again and replace the browser source. And then refresh it and see. Because it's supposed to make a sound as well. And it used to make a sound. But it's not. I don't see any sound at all. Maybe I messed something up. Wait, let me check my audio properties. I might have removed it from a track. Actually, you know what? That probably is it. I might have removed it from all of the audio tracks. Monitor and output. No, it's still here. It's still here. I'm gonna change it. It's at negative 0.7 decibels. I'll change that to 0. But, it should also be... I need to sync it up with the rest of the delay. Yeah, so it's at 250 milliseconds, monitor and output, and it's set to tracks 2, 3, and 6. So I should see it. It's in its own audio track. Panda should be in its own audio track as well. And the tracks shouldn't matter because I should still hear it in OBS regardless of what audio track it's set to record on. But the VOD track is 3, the stream track is 2, and then it's also on my recording tracks. So it should be here. I just don't know why. Maybe the site is muted? No. Hmm. Let's see. Oh, it's not like an actual GitHub page. Interesting. That's interesting. It is just a... Weird. Well, I know it's not getting disabled somehow because we can see it pop up. It's just not giving... What was that? OBS just like minimized itself. Okay, whatever. Back to the game. Is there an ability to change the font in this game? I wonder. Because we could do it in Mandemon, you could just replace the text in it. I never figured out... Well, I did at the end figure out how to get it to work. I can hit continue. Do we want to hit continue? We probably just want to hit continue, right? I have no idea what happened. I have absolutely no clue what happened last time. Luckily, there's this cool thing called summary, which is great. Every game should have this. Okay, so... May 21st, Rinka awakens and notices that only the words from Keiko's letter have disappeared. She realizes what they meant by only their actions being erased. Okay. Rinka goes to school. Naomi is happy to tell her she changed from glasses to contact lenses. However, Rinka ends up feeling bad about it. Curious about what happened to the son, Rinka visits the hospital and bumps into Keiko's husband and finds out that Keiko's son's name had changed to Haruki. Cool. And then on Thursday, the 24th, Rinka learned Alan's name, but 3 days went without anything of note. Decided to close up shop for the day and go to the library, but instead we found that girl, that Russian girl. A participant of Divine Selection, the girl tells her name, Sofia Priznitz Alexeyevna or whatever. Rinka takes her to the restaurant, treats her to a meal, she eats a bunch of food. Sonia declares that she will not drop out. She'll be the next to drop out of the selection, then takes her to the lion house. He runs around the place with a cat, Laith. Sonia's parents had come to Japan, but it seems that numeral 3 and numeral 11, a man and a woman, had separated them. Sonia said that she would be eliminated next, means the two had already gained all 3 of her cards. As proof of her trust in her, so Sonia tells Rinka that her regret was to see the world, and Rinka gains the numeral 10 regret card. So this is the next day. Let's also look at our card book. So this is Sophia. Her name and her regret. We don't have her cause of death, but I believe, if I remember correctly, she had a terminal illness or was like really sickly as a child. I'm gonna go get my fan too as I spin around. I'll keep talking because I'm facing away from the mic, so hopefully you hear some of this. So it's not like I'm completely out grip. The fan cord got caught underneath something. And move it closer to me. Cool, that's not getting picked up by the mic. Nice. I've realized before I've had my fan so far away, it really isn't doing anything, but if I have it too close, the mic picks it up, so it's kind of like a fine balance. Cool. So yeah, if I remember correctly, Sonia had some sort of like, illness or something that kept her very sickly as a child, and so she was always inside. And she was close to dying, and she was like, Mom, Dad, I really want to go to Japan, and they brought her to Japan. Rinka is still alive. Obviously, we know her name. She's number 1. We know Federico's. That was one of the ones we started off with, I believe. 4 was Fire. I believe that's the other girl. The girl boy. The gray-haired youth that we saw at the very beginning of the game. Who had the backpack and then the whole thing exploded. Yeah. Number 8 is Keiko. I don't know why. She's over here now. Yep. Keiko. Kombuka Keiko. And we also have her death, cause of death, which is a brain hemorrhage, and her regret was not being able to name her child. We also have number 9, who we do not know who that is. Her regret is a golden medal. That is one of the characters, I believe, or one of the cards that Rinka started off with. And then we have 10, which is Sophia, and we have 12, which is Alan Scorpion. Alan Scorpion, who found out Keiko's thing. This is Ro Chan-ho. He has stroke, and his cause of regret was leaving behind his dog and not being able to have a dog as a child. We found out that he actually has a mistress who he employs and meets up with on the down low without his wife or his child knowing, so he can visit his dog. He hires her to take care of his secret dog when he goes out on business trips. He was killed by, I believe it was Odette, with the help of Federico Carminati. So let's move on to Odette next. She obviously knows Federico. They were traveling together, I believe, on a boat that sank. They are part of the mob. And, well, they might be the mafia. And it is unknown what they died of, but there was a storm. The information she has is obviously all of Rose stuff. She also has her own, which is Odette Malenkon, or Malenkin. Moving on, we should go to Federico. Federico obviously knows his own name. He also knows Rose's name and cause of death, but never figured out his regret because he was not part of the investigation. Odette was the one that tailed him. And he also has Odette's card. Let's move on to Keiko. She obviously knows Rinka's name. I don't remember. She must have... I don't know if they ever revealed all of her cards. I don't remember if she knew Rinka's name or if she learned it. Obviously, she has all of her own stuff. She also has Alan's thing as well. I think she started with that card. Next, we have numeral 6, who we know nothing about, really, but Alan, she was the woman that first met Rinka when Mao and Miharu, I think, were, or maybe it was just Naomi. Either way, she was at we met her. Well, we didn't meet her, but it was clearly her. She was wearing a mask, and she came into Lionhouse and asked for some directions, and Rinko helped her. She is from an English-speaking country because at the end, I think it was Mao and Miharu, somebody, the other people there remarked on her amazing English skills, and that's when she realized that it's like, wait, why did they hear English? And then that's the clue that she was part of Divine Selection. She was killed the first night by Alan. She knew his name. He singled her out. They obviously had some sort of pre-existing relationship. She was like, Alan, no, don't do it. And he was like, then perish. Moving on, let's go to Miharu. The only card that we know she has is Rinka's, because obviously she knows Rinka. They know each other personally. And then our main character, Rinka, I already went over. She has her own. She has Federico's. She has 4's cause of death, which we don't know. She has all of Keiko's information. She has number 9's regret, who we don't know who that is. And she has Sophia's regret and name, and also Alan's name. One of these people is an old man, an old Japanese man. I believe that is why Federico and Odette, or Alan, or all three of them are in Japan. Well, Alan, I don't know why he was. I guess he was in Japan because he might have been there anyway. I don't know, but he was in Japan. This lady was in Japan. Keiko is in Japan. Miharu's in Japan. Rinka's in Japan. I think Odette and Federico are also in Japan now, tracking down the old guy, because there's an old Japanese man who is part of the thing. He's got to be either 9, 4, or 5. I don't remember if his position was ever revealed in the order. And obviously Sonya's in... I mean, obviously they're all gonna really be in Japan, right? That's the only way Rinka's gonna get any information. It's not like she can travel abroad. She's a high schooler. School ends up flying by somehow. Once classes are over, the three of us met up at the gate. We couldn't have Sonya infiltrate the school again, so we got her to wander around the university campus instead. Not only is it open to everyone, but there's a library there as well. I'm sure she surprised a few students there, but oh well. However, once we meet up, I realized getting her to do that was a mistake. I don't remember any of the voices I did either, by the way. I remember Naomi's and Miharu's, and that's it. Oh, and I remember singing. The university here seems like fun. Sonia. Her words pierce my heart, my Kokoro. She'll never have the opportunity to attend a university. Regardless of Divine Selection's outcome, even if she were to win somehow, it wouldn't cure her condition. Whether or not she would really die soon after is unknown, but at the very least, she's convinced herself that it's certain.
リンカが気にすることではないよ。だろ、ソフィア。
Don't beat yourself up, Rinka, right?
はい。ソーニャの知らないこと、知るのはとても楽し
We
いで
need
す。
glasses. We should get glasses. Glasses. I hit the right one for once. Right. I'm happy that I got to see something new.
さあ、では行こうか。今日は本格的に
Oh
観
wait,
光
hold
するの
on.
だろ。
Is this desync now? Wait, hold on. I'm sorry about that. This might have been desync. This might be desynced actually. Hold on. The audio might have been desynced here. I'm just realizing I don't have the render delay on this. So the audio is probably like all messed up. Sorry about that. Okay, we should get going. There's lots for us to see today.
東京
Yeah,
の
okay, it
街並み
should be good now.
楽しみでありますよ。
The full screen captures worked so far, so I haven't really thought about the desync at all for any of the other captures. I can't wait to see everything or anything and everything. Things seem fine between the two of them. I guess they've put whatever happened last night behind them. Like Miharu said, we've got plenty to see today. We'll make our way toward the station. We'll make our way downtown, walking fast, faces past, and we're station bound. Da-na-na-na-na-na. No. It's hard to sum up all the places we've visited. Some could say that we've walked 1,000 miles. First was Tokyo Skytree. After that, Sensoji Temple. We made sure to avoid the busy area, but we still got a good look at Kaminari-mon. Wait, I have to think about something. Okay, yeah, that is the same song. For some reason, I always have this like weird, like lingering feeling somehow that when I talk about 1,000 miles, I somehow get it confused with 1,000 years. I was that Christina Perri, but those are two very different songs. But the I Could Fall Into the Sky is that is Vanessa Carlton. Just wanted to make sure I was remembering that right. We saw Roppongi Hills from a distance as well, but before that, we paid a visit to Jumbocho since it served as the setting for an old anime. Walking from place to place, faces passed, and would have been a bit much, so we used a taxi instead. Sonia's parents must be rich, since she paid for everything with her credit card, just like she did at the maid cafe. She thinks she'll use her credit card. That helped a lot, especially because we also went to Odaiba. After getting on the Ferris wheel and seeing the Fuji television building, we had to turn right around to reach our final stop. Said last stop is Zojoji Temple. Joji? It's said to be a time-honored temple with ties to the Tokugawa family from the Edo period. That, and something about Pure Land Buddhism. Based on what we're seeing here, a lot of bands and artists use the open area for concerts. The area's name and those of its surrounding stations are based on the name of the huge gate at the entrance to the temple, so it goes without saying just how impressive it all is. It's only 30 or so minutes from the station, and yet I had no idea this place even existed. That's because you're a real stick-in-the-mud, Rinka. What does she do? Nothing. She goes home, she makes coffee, she goes to bed. I'm exhausted.
リンカも僕も立ち仕事をしているはずだけれど、さすがにハードな工程だったね。
I figured we'd be fine since we're on our feet most of the time when we're working, but this really has been taxing. I saw a game on Steam recently that had a voice cast, and I don't remember. I just remember the name stood out. I don't even remember what the game was called, though, unfortunately. Meanwhile, Sonia walks ahead of us as we complain about our aching feet.
すごいであります。
Wow! She blurts out an exclamation of wonder as she points at Tokyo Tower, visible off in the distance. You can see it clearly past the temple. Its huge red frame is decorated with all sorts of colored lighting. Obviously, I've seen it before, but seeing it this close and at night is a completely different experience.
綺麗だ。
It's so pretty.
あ
Yeah.
あ、そう、
Oh, oops.
ああ、そうだね。
東京、素晴ら
Tokyo is such a nice place. All three of us are entranced by the sight of Tokyo Tower glimmering in the night for a good while. The good while? It brings back memories of the parade and light show I saw together with Miharu at the theme park. Divine Selection wasn't even on my mind back then. I still don't like her peanut butter hair. It still bugs me. I don't know. I get that like that's what they're going for, but like it just looks kind of weird. Like whose hair is like that? Never would I have imagined that I'd wind up in a situation like this. I wonder if Sonia's reflecting on her life right now. Does this look like the face of somebody who's reflecting on their life? Also, why does Miharu still has like extraordinarily like creepy or like suspicious faces in my opinion? There's a hint of sorrow on her face as she looks up at Tokyo Tower.
こうして綺麗なものを見ることができて、ソーニャはとっても幸せです。
I'm happy I had the opportunity to see something this lovely.
幸せすぎて
Oops.
寂しいであります。
I'm so happy that it's making me feel worried. Worried? Hold on. Okay, we're good. Her eyes water and reflect the light coming from the tower, and I disable the preview in OBS. She raises her gaze higher into the night sky, but it does little to keep the tears from running down her cheeks.
きっとこの瞬間がソーニャにとって一番幸せなのであります。
This has to be the happiest moment of my life.
最初で最後の
My first time experiencing the world. And my last.
ソーニャの目
Oh.
はソーニャが感じた
And it's
広い世界。
It's also the last. The floodgates damming her tears have broken. I understand that feeling all too well. She can't keep up the facade any longer. Her bright smile has been snuffed out by this outburst.
もうおしまいなのであります。
It's all over.
これで今日で
Okay, that's not what I was expecting when it said wah. I was expecting a wah, like an actual wah, not just a Today's my last wah. That's This is what I was expecting. I feel my own eyes start to water. Water, I hardly know her, but I do everything in my power I hardly know her to hold it in. I move to hug her, I hardly know her, but Miharu notices and shakes her head at me.
感情移入しすぎてはいけないよ。
Don't let yourself get too attached. It's just like a farm animal that you have to send away to the county fair to be eaten, or something, I don't know. She says this quietly enough so that only I hear her. I can't stop myself though. If crying together, I hardly know her with her isn't an option, then I want to know her to know I'm here for her, at the very least. There's no doubt she'll crumble in front of reality otherwise.
ソーニャ
Sonia! Best viewers on Redacted, Poggers! I don't even get audio alerts to this. You know what? That's the biggest crime. I gotta figure out what's wrong with this. That's the biggest crime, that we don't get Pando, like we don't get the audio of Pando saying, "Welcome Kawa Sabai."
ソーニャは辛いであります。今ならわかるであります。
The best viewers on Redacted? Amazing. I told myself that I accepted my situation, but it's not true.
世界にはこんなに
It's like that episode
も
of...
のがあるのに
There's a little bit of glow around your pins. I just noticed. There's a little bit of like glow when they do it. That's interesting. It's just like that episode of Elena. Now I know that the world is full of beautiful things. Oh, now I know that the world is full of beautiful things like this.
もうお別れしないといけないなんて
But my time here is running out. Oops, she wasn't done crying. Time slows to a crawl while Sonia lets out all her emotions. Or, well, okay, whatever. The light from the tower reflects off her tears, causing them to shine like precious jewels.
リンカ君は
Oh, she was gonna say some more stuff, but I cut her off. Miharu starts to say something, but stops herself. Once Sonia finally settles down, we make our way back to Lion House. Do you think they Lion House at Lion House? It's 9 p.m. by the time we get back. Going out to buy stuff for dinner, and not to mention making it, would have taken even longer, so we end up ordering some pizza. Needless to say, the three of us wolf it down immediately.
美味しいであります。
It's a margarita
日
pizza.
本の食事は最高なのであります。
Delicious. Japan's food is truly the best. Okay, here's the hard thing. It's a margarita pizza. They have a margarita pizza in Yuru Camp in the second season when Rin goes to one of the hot springs. They also have a thing where they just like have pizza, and I think she eats the pizza in the hot spring or something. I don't know. It's something weird like that.
いや宅配ピザこそロシアにもあるでしょう
Come on. I know for a fact that you can get pizza delivered in Russia as well.
ソーニャは食べられるものが少なかったでありますよ。
See, you can really see it here, the glow that she has in her
自
pins.
由に食事できることはとても幸せであります。
It's a lot more obvious over here, but you can still see it over here. But like the blue pin is crazy over here. Interesting. It's an interesting way to draw attention to it. Also, it's nothing against Miharu. I just don't like the way her eyes go. The way that she always got this, and like the eye, I don't know, it always gives her like this sort of like suspicious look. I've always had to watch what I ate before this. That's why I'm happy I can eat whatever I want now. If I'm gonna die anyway, I might as well just eat whatever. Her tone may be cheery, but there's a certain weight hidden behind her each and every word. Miharu manages to keep things from becoming awkward though.
リンカの手料理を食べられないのは残念だ
I'm a bit upset he didn't cook, to be honest.
まあもう時間的にね宅配ピザって子供の頃以来かも
We have to be mindful of the time. Besides, I don't think I've had pizza delivered since I was a kid. I just go there and pick it up myself, since I'm an adult.
おばあ様と二人暮らしだと特に頼む機会は少ないかもしれないね
Well, I can't imagine you'd have much opportunity to do so while living with your grandmother.
うんあんまりデリバリーするって習慣もないみたいお蕎麦くらいかなピザ自体は店でも作ってたから好きだと思うんだけど
Yeah, she was never big on getting stuff delivered in the first place, except some soba now and then. She's not against pizza itself, considering she'd make it here every so often.
そもそもおばあちゃん好き嫌いないからね何でも食べるのが健康の秘訣っていうのがおばあちゃんの口癖だったから
In fact, she'd eat pretty much anything, to the point where she'd always go on about how not being fussy about food is the secret behind her being so healthy. She really is healthy for her age, too. She really enjoys bragging about still having all of her teeth intact.
リンカの好き嫌いがないのもおばあ様の影響なんだね
I see you take after her in that regard.
それは間違いないかも
Yeah, I must. I wanna see the next time we pan over to Rinka. Does she also have these additional things on her uniform?
お姉様のおばあ様でありますか。
Your grandmother...
素敵な人でありますね。
Your grandmother must be a wonderful person. I was wondering like why there was such a big pause in the middle of that sentence. She didn't say anything.
よくわかっているねリンカを育てたのだから当たり前さ
She's the one who raised Rinka, so you're right about that. So says Miharu, who I'm pretty sure hasn't actually met my gran. There's plenty to talk about while we eat our dinner, but most importantly, I want to get a pan back to Rinka. The topics often revolve around Sonia's family. Her grandmother in particular sounds like a nice person, and she's apparently good at sewing. Sewing? Yeah, she's good at sewing. She's very litigious. In fact, she's the one who made Passagier for Sonia.
そうにゃ、家で友達がいなかったですから、 本を読む時もアニメを見ている時も一人ぼっちにならないようにパサジールをプレゼントしてくれたであります。
I never had any friends, so my grandmother gifted Passagier to me so I wouldn't be lonely while reading books and watching anime.
今日はパサジールも広い世界を見ることができて
The crease here makes it look very angry. It looks upset. Like this extra Passagier. It had the chance to see the world along with me today, so I'm sure it's as happy as I am. The way they've like covered up to like make the they've covered up like the parts here when they form the ball for the head. But it's just really funny how this scene, like the way it's drawn, makes him look very angry. Excuse me. A heavy yawn erupts from Sonya after that, almost as if to lighten the mood.
お腹いっぱいになったら眠くなってしまいました。
Now that I've eaten, I'm starting to feel sleepy.
今日はたくさん歩いたからね。ゆっくり休みな。
We did a lot of walking today, so get some rest, okay?
おやすみなさいであります。
Okay, good night. Her eyes turned into primo gems. Saying that, she makes her way upstairs. Miharu and I are now alone together. I hardly know her downstairs. Miharu ends up being the one to strike up a conversation while we tidy up everything.
ソフィアに尾行らしき影もなかった。11番は相当な自信家で酔狂な人のようだ。
Who's 11 again? Odette. I didn't notice anyone following us, so numeral 9, numeral 11 certainly seems to be confident, whimsical even. I could tell Miharu was on edge the entire day, mainly because I was the same way when I first met Sonya. It's not far-fetched to assume that one person would keep an eye on her parents, and the other would watch Sonya, since two participants are working together. Oh yeah, that's right. So that's what happened. In this case, numeral 3, Federico Carminati, would probably watch her parents, while numeral 11 would be in charge of Sonya, because she's the one holding her cards.
ソーニャのカードを3枚持っているから自信があるっていうのは納得できる。でもどうして酔狂って思うの？
I understand why she'd feel confident when she's got all three of Sonya's cards, but what makes you call her whimsical?
僕の予想では11番はただソフィアに楽しんでほしかっただけだと思うんだ。
From what I gather, I hardly know her. She really wanted Sonya to enjoy her final few days here.
いいかい？両親と協力して情報を調べることを徹底するなら最終日だって一緒にいさせてはいけない。これは当たり前だね。
If she really wanted to make sure that Sonya wouldn't work with her parents to dig up info on them, then she'd prevent them from meeting up, even on the final day. That should go without saying.
でも最後の時は家族と過ごすことを許した。慈悲とそう思われるけれど僕は違うと予想している。
And yet, she granted Sonya the opportunity to be with her family. It makes her seem compassionate at a glance, but there's more to it than that.
カセはソフィアではなく彼女の両親にかけられたんだ。
In truth, she didn't place the shackles on Sonya. She tied the hands of her parents.
どういう意味？
I'm not sure I follow.
ソフィアの両親は選定を心から信じているかどうかわからない。娘が一時的に良くなっているだけだとわずかでも思っているなら病気のソフィアを日本滞在中も気にかけ続けるに決まっている。
How are you doing today? I'll have to read them out instead because the audio is not working. I'm gonna have to figure out what that is. Well, there's no guarantee that Sophia's parents believe her regarding divine selection. They might have brought her here under I hardly know her, the false assumption that she's made a temporary recovery.
それこそこんな脂っこいピザなんて食べさせないさ。おっと、僕が嫌いなわけではないけどね。客観的に見ての話さ。
In that case, they'd never let her have fatty foods like pizza. Bear in mind that I'm talking from an objective standpoint here. It's not my personal opinion regarding pizza. I love pizza.
ソフィアが知らない世界を見るというのは両親といては成し得ないことだと思う。ここまで言えばわかるかい？
I don't think she would have been able to see the world like she wanted had she stayed with her parents. You understand where I'm going with this yet? I think back to Sonia's comment about having the freedom to eat what she likes. Pointing that out must mean she previously didn't have that freedom.
結果的にソーニャは私たちと違って広い世界を見ることができたかもしれない。
Sonia's definition of seeing the world at large differs from ours, and numerals 11's actions enabled her to fulfill that one desire.
もちろん11番にとってソフィアと僕たちが出会うのは予想外だっただろう。だが今まで話したことから考えて11番はソフィアの未練を叶えさせたかったと本気で思っていたように予想できる。
Of course, I doubt she expected Sophia to run into us. Even then, the desire for her to minimize that regret is definitely there.
たった2日や3日では未練が完全になくなりはしないだろうが、それでも両親との観光では今夜見せたソフィアの涙は意味が違っていたかもしれない。
2 or 3 days likely isn't enough for her to completely remove her regret, but I think it's safe to say that her tears tonight would have held a completely different meaning had she been with her parents.
納得できる。正しいかどうかわからないけど、ソーニャは心から感動していたと思う。
Oh, that's not her voice. I see. That makes sense. Not sure I can say this was the correct option, but at the very least, Sonia seems to have been happy from the bottom of her heart.
そしてこれらの情報は11番のパーソナルを知るために重要な情報になってくるかもしれない。おっと、僕が結論として言いたいのはここではないね。
This may serve as an important foundation when it comes to learning more about numeral 11 too. That's not the main point of this discussion though.
これからこの選定を改めて僕と一緒に戦わないかい？
Instead, I want you to consider I hardly know her joining forces with me for the remainder I hardly know her of divine selection. She stares deep into my eyes. It takes a while, but she finally comes out with a proposition that feels long overdue. I stare right back, unable to say anything in response. My brain completely shuts down. I honestly have no idea what to say. I can hear the sound of her breathing. Noticing that her nerves are building with each and every breath, I finally answer.
ダメだよ。だってミハルは私を最後の一人にするためにって言うでしょ。
Actually, do I have like B-roll or like B sound of just someone breathing? I do. I can't really hear it though. Oh, now I can hear it. It's very quiet. Yeah, that's really quiet. Maybe that's for the best. What happens if I crank it up? It's still pretty quiet to me, but okay. I'm sorry, but I can't. You have every intention of making me the final survivor, don't you?
リンカを最後の一人にするのは僕のためでもあるけれどね。
I do, but you need to realize that I'd be doing it for my own sake as well.
同じだよ。それじゃ違う。私もミハルを最後の一人にするためにって思わなきゃ平等じゃないよ。
That doesn't change anything. It's not fair to partner up with you when I haven't resolved to do the same thing for your sake.
私はまだどっちが生き残ればいいのかなんてわからない。
I still can't decide which one of us deserves to live through this.
美晴は親友だ。それは間違いないよ。死なれるのは絶対に嫌だ。でもね、私も自分の未練をちゃんと知るまでは、自分がどうして生きているのかって知るまでは死にたくないんだ。
I wonder what would happen. I guess we already sort of have an answer with Keiko, but I wonder what would happen if one of these characters were able to like resolve their regret, right? Like during the, like before. I wonder how that would work. Huh. Right? Like, Rinka still got like the like Haruki is still the name that her son ended up getting, so I wonder. There's no way I'd be fine with letting one of my closest friends give their life away. And yet, I don't want to die without knowing my own regret, without knowing why I got wrapped up in all this to begin with.
迷いがある限り、一緒に行動しても足を引っ張ることになる。
Also, it's hard to tell, but I don't think Rinka has the same things that Miharu has on her blouse, or I guess it's her like her button up. I don't think she has the same ones. Although it could be hard to tell considering that like Rinka's wearing this jacket and she's like always like covering herself up. So long as I've got stuff like that in my mind, I'll only hold you back in the end. There's no doubt I'll face similar or situations similar to when I confronted Alan at the hospital again. I'm sure my resolve will take a hit again when that time comes.
君の未練か。
Your regret, huh? Well, luckily, Rinka, one of the cards I got was also your regret card, and it says here that your regret was kissing me, so... Miharu trails off. There's no need for her to speak when her expression screams the complicated thoughts she's having. The silence didn't last too long, however.
君はあるいは僕の死因に心当たりがあるはずなのにね。確信を持ったら軽蔑するはずだろうに。
I'm fairly sure that she should have an idea about my cause of death. I'm also sure that she'd be appalled by it, too.
けれども、わかった。今はまだそれでいい。だが、僕のスタンスは変わらない。僕の運命はきっと君のためにあるのだから。
It's...
迷いがなくなる時を心待ちにしているよ。
What if Miharu's regret is that she wasn't able to kiss Rinka? And what if her cause of death was she killed herself after Rinka tragically died when that train exploded? It's fine though. I'm okay with maintaining the status quo. You gotta stick to the status quo, Rinka, even if my stance on the matter hasn't changed. My fate exists for your sake, so I'll simply wait for the day when you finally clear up your own personal doubts.
美晴はどうしてそこまで私を生かそうとしてくれるの？美晴にだって未練はあるはずなのに、自分のカードをちゃんと持っているでしょ。
Why are you so desperate to give your life for mine? Surely you have your own regret to care about. You do have your own cards, don't you? I mean, you don't even have your own cards, Rinka. Oops.
君を愛しているからさ。
What is this music change? It's because I love you.
あ、はい。
Love? And they were roommates. Her exclamation throws me off at first, but naturally she must mean in a friendly way. There's no way that she could be attracted to me as a girl.
さて、僕たちももう寝よう。明日ソフィアを見送るのだろう。
Anyway, we should get some sleep ourselves. You plan on seeing Sophia off tomorrow, don't you?
そうだね。
Yeah, I do. I know she's the type of person to use suggestive lines to mask her actual feelings. It doesn't stop me from getting all flustered, though. Maybe because there's the off chance that she means it. In that case, I'd have no idea how to handle the situation. That's making it even worse. Getting to sleep is no easy task after going back to my room. There's way too much on my mind. Lingering in my head the most is what Miharu said, that I should have an idea about her cause of death. Maybe she was killed at the Maid Cafe. I think it was Colonel Mustard at the Maid Cafe with the ketchup bottle. I didn't outright deny her claim because, well, it's true. I've just been desperately trying to avoid thinking about it, because I don't want to see my thoughts regarding my friend's death get turned into a card. There's one thing I can say for sure regardless.
軽蔑なんてするわけないだろう。
That's not her voice. There's no way I'd ever think less of you over it. Seems she's fast asleep already, judging by her breathing. Can't help but be impressed by how good she looks, even while sleeping. It's hard not to notice on her the scar on her wrist peeking out from under her sleeve. That was totally just a reach. That like Miharu just seems like the kind of character that has just like she seems like the kind of character that would kill herself. I don't know if that's like profiling or anything like that, but that's totally what I was thinking. My top two causes of death for Miharu was either she killed herself or like she got murdered or something by like a stalker or something at the Maid Cafe. They both seem pretty equally likely. But I brew some coffee for both Sonia and Miharu once morning comes around. Sonia doesn't want to drink hers black, so I make sure to put some milk and sugar in. What about Frima?
初めて飲んだであります。美味しかったです。
It's the same pose. It's like the same sprites. They just like swapped out like this layer of what her outfit was. That's funny. She's still got the same face. This face. I'm sorry, Miharu. It doesn't matter how much I like you. I still think your face is kind of creepy. It's not creepy. It looks suspicious. I don't know what it is. She looks like super sus all the time. I don't know what it is. But she just does. I don't know. This is my first time drinking coffee. It was delicious.
久しぶりにここでコーヒーをいただいたね。前とは少し味が変わっている。
It's been a while since I had some coffee here. The taste seems to have changed too.
前に入れたのはおばあちゃんだったからちょっと味は落ちちゃったかな。
Well, it was my grandmother who made it last time, so that's not a surprise to hear. Oops, she's also not wearing her uniform anymore, so even though I have a better chance to look at her, it really doesn't help. Also, she looks like as flat as a washboard from this angle, which I think is really interesting.
そんなことはない。僕は変わったと言ったんだ。この香りがきっと凛花のコーヒーなんだ。
That's not it. I was implying that I've changed. I can tell that it's your coffee based on the fragrance alone. But then again, like, oops, I keep doing this because normally this is like the hide thing. But everyone looks, even Miharu, it's just because it's like a dead on, like, it's dead on. My coffee, huh? I suppose I have been making slight changes to the way I prepare it for a while. Oops, I want to see their cups too. They have different cups. Hers matches. Hers is green because it pairs well with her design, I guess. That doesn't matter right now, though. Rather, I can't help but lose myself in the moment, the music. You better never let it go. I stare at Miharu basking in the morning glow while enjoying her coffee. It causes me to recall her comment from last night, which forces me to avert my eyes. Sonia is staring at her too. I'm not sure if she noticed me doing so and followed suit, but eventually she smiles and speaks up.
お姉様と美晴にソーニャからお願いであります。
I have a request for both of you.
パサジールを預かってください。
I'd like to leave Passagier with you.
だっておばあちゃんからもらった大切なものなんでしょ。
Huh? But it's an important gift from your grandmother, isn't it? I never noticed this giant, even though I just looked at her a second ago, I never noticed this giant necklace that she's wearing. This giant pendant.
パサジール。ロシア語で旅人という意味だね。
Miharu. What does Miharu sound like? She sort of talks like this, doesn't she? Passagier, it's Russian for traveler, isn't it?
驚きました。ミハルはソーニャの国の言葉を知っていたのですか？
Interesting. Wow, you understand my home language? I'm impressed.
ソーニャの思いが、希望が名前にこもってたんだね。
Okay, that's the song kind of sounded like something for a second. The name must represent your desire. That's not her voice. The name must represent your desire to go out and see the world. A pang of sadness hits me as I remember Keiko's belief regarding the meaning of behind one's name. Although I do my best to hide it behind a smile.
それでお願いというのは？
What is it you want us to do with it?
この子にもっと世界を見せてあげてほしいであります。
I want you to show it the world.
この子に
Shining, shimmering. She holds her closest friend Atumi Haru with that beaming smile of hers.
僕に渡しても意味がない。だって
Oh, her face changed. Her smile changed. There's no point handing it over to me.
ソーニャのお願いは二人へのお願いであります。
This is a request for both of you. She leaves Passagier on the table at which Miharu is sitting and prepares to continue with her request. Miharu unconsciously strokes its head with her finger. At least, I assume it is unconscious of her, since she retracts her finger the moment she realizes what she's doing.
ちょっとだけソーニャの話を聞いてくださいであります。
See, she has a green cup because they thought it would match well with her color scheme. That's why her background is green. Would you mind listening to what I have to say?
女神の選定は12人が始まりから12週間後、選定の最後の時に本来同じ場所にいるはずだったと言っていました。
The goddess said originally all 12 of us were supposed to have gathered in the same place 12 weeks from the beginning of divine selection.
実はソーニャの病気が悪くならなければ旅行が決まっていたのであります。
In reality, my parents planned to take me on a trip if my condition didn't get any worse.
行く場所はパパとママが決めることになっていたでありますが、日本、東京ということだけは決まっていたのであります。
They had even decided on bringing me to Tokyo.
しかし運命は変わった。ソフィアの病気は悪化した。だがそうか、君たち家族が東京に来る運命もあったというわけだね。
I'm looking at the video display in BTS, that's why I'm making these goofy faces. Fate changed its course, and your condition grew worse. Still, that means you were originally supposed to come here.
はい、運命は変わったであります。
Keeping an eye on the ad
ソー
timer.
ニャは旅行の前に死んでしまいました。
Yes, fate changed its course by having me die before we could take the trip.
ソーニャが言いたかったのは運命は変わるってことであります。悪いように変わるならきっといいようにも。
The important part here is that fate can change. Even if it can do so for the worst, then it can do so for the best. She challenges her fate.
女神様が言うには12人のうちの1人しか生き残れないのが運命とのことであります。で
Call
も運命がそんなにコロコロ変わるものであれば、
her Lusonia, because she challenges her fate. The goddess said that fate will allow only one of us to make it to the end, but if fate is something that can change in a whim, then...
お姉様もミハルもずっと生きることのできる運命もあるかもしれないであります。
It's possible that it can be altered to let both of you make it through together.
ソーニャはもう間に合わないであります。でもお姉様とミハルならパサジールにもっと広い世界を見せてあげられるかもしれないであります。
It may be too late for me, but I believe that you two will show even more of the world to Passagier, together.
運命が変わる可能性。
You think it's possible to change fate? I only tipped the waitress, not the scales. I don't
ありえな
know.
いよ。変わったとしてそれは生き残るものが変わるだけ。僕がいる限りそれが凛花であることに変わりはないけれど。
It's not. Even if we could, all that would change is which one of us makes it through. And believe me, it won't be anyone other than Rinka so long as I'm around.
僕らが今生きているのは女神の決めたルールがあるからだろ。
I'm hoping we get to a stopping point soon. Don't forget that it's the same goddess's rules that are keeping us alive right now.
はい。ですがソーニャは2人にお願いをするであります。
That's true, but still, I won't take my request back. Sonia speaks with enough confidence to refute Miharu's denial. The look in her eyes tells me she's convinced by her own words, too.
ソフィアは最後までわがままだね。
Selfish until the end, aren't we?
遺言ですから。
This is my final will, so yes, and the ads are about to start really soon.
そうか。約束はできないけど。
Okay, the ads are about to start soon.
凛花。
So, we're gonna temporarily pause, and yeah. The ads are about to start, and I'm not gonna keep like progressing the story-based game during the ads. Seems like a bad idea. know what? I could have been trying to troubleshoot what's up with these audio things. Let's go back over here. That's interesting. My alert audio is set to capture Minecraft. See, the problem is... Let me see something. And then, if I were to mute... I hate Game Bar. It keeps opening up all these windows. And I just want it to open up the sound, but it keeps opening up all this other stuff too. Okay, yeah, so the headset audio, which is muted, is working fine. The game audio is working fine, like the audio capture. This specific thing. Huh. What are you? Oh, that's one of the Stream Elements things. Right, what happened if I do like... Is that this one? No, it's Redeem Reinhardt, isn't it? Huh, so like none of them are working. Even the Stream Elements thing isn't working. In terms of like, well, the Stream Elements visual thing isn't working, but none of the sound is playing. It's like... It's like at some point, that one time I launched... OBS, it like broke everything. Let me try something else. Huh. Wait, so what is this? Properties, alert audios capturing this. Do I have... No. What about this? Properties, default, yeah. This is advanced audio properties. This is the capture. And I don't have any option for any of that stuff. Actually, what about like, let me check this, outfit devices. Oh, this is troubleshooting now. Sound devices. Got the speakers. Oh wait, hold on. Wait. Okay. And then speakers. No. Okay, so that's moved my thing to the speakers. Default. What? Speakers. Okay, cool. And now I can have... I have audio back again. I wonder if this would work now. Let me turn this down to like here. and try to do this again. Sound volume mixer. Let me see something. If I can figure this out, I might be able to figure out everything else. Oh, it's my thing not... Oh, did it cut my mic audio? Oh no, my mic audio is fine, but VTS broke for some reason. Weird. Now, are you good? Yeah? Okay, cool. Weird. I don't know why that cut... Well, I guess I messed with something. Weird. Okay, I do want to try and figure this out before we go on. Okay. Let me see something. Let's try this again. Oh, cool. So now the audio works. I can hear it, but I don't think any of you can hear it. Can you? Oh no, it's there and it's very loud. Nice. It's there and it's extraordinarily loud. Cool. I just have to make sure this is in the right frame now. I guess that's something that got switched off. It is in the right thing. That's very loud. Let me turn that down a little bit. And then that means that this should also work as well. Just in its own thing. I'm gonna turn this one down too. Let's try, actually, where's the dream? Okay, I can't hear this. I have to change this so I can hear it. Oh, I'll also have to change this to line up, won't I? What even is that? That's a horoscope sign, a do not cross barrier, a ladybug, and I don't even know what that one is. What even is that? Is that a person? It is. It was just cut off in a heart. Cool. I have no idea. What is that even? A Sagittarius construction ladybug deaf person? Heart? Is this like a weird reference to Miraculous Ladybug and Cat Noir or something that I don't get? Hopefully the audio should be working now. Yeah, that's pretty loud. Wow, what a weird... Nice to know we figured out how to get that working again. Now we can continue. I see. I won't make any promises, but let me ask you, Rinka. Are you willing to carry out her request? Your mission, should you choose to accept it, is to take Passagier around the world. Yeah. I nod firmly to reinforce my response. That's like some real Tay-Zonday kind of like, I lean away to breathe in. This is probably the only thing I can do for her now.
では、ソーニャは行くであります。
In that case, I'll be on my way.
お姉様、美晴、どうもありがとうございました。
Thank you for giving me some of your precious time.
ああ、お気をつけて。
Sure, take care.
ソーニャ、私は楽しかった。絶対に忘れないから。
I wonder what would happen. Okay, here's the hypothetical, which the game probably won't address. But what if Rinka took photos of their time together, and then she was the one that ended up surviving Divine Selection, and Miharu and Sonia both died? Would those photos still remain? And if they did remain, would they still have them in them, or would they just fade away like magic, and it would only be Rinka in the photos? Sonia, I promise I won't forget about the fun time we spent together.
ソーニャもとても幸せでした。
Being with you two made me very happy too.
はわ、名残惜しくなってしまうので、もう行くであります。
Uh-oh, I should leave before it gets too hard for me to do so.
では、さようなら。
Alright, farewell. She bows deeply before leaving. Excuse me. Is this the entrance? It has to be, right? This has to be the entryway. I watch her sink down into the horizon from the store window.
行ってしまったね。
Off she goes. Once again, Miharu is getting me with this weird belt. I always think it's her stomach. I always think this is her stomach for some reason. It's just a weird belt. Off she goes. I'm too caught up in my own thoughts to properly register what Miharu says. Nothing can change the fact that Sonia is going to be eliminated tonight. When I think about it, I only have 2 of her cards. I don't even have the option of triggering a simultaneous election like I did with Keiko. Granted, even if I did, it'd be nothing more than a temporary measure to console myself. But... seeing her walk off on her own like that is too much.
リンカ、
Before I can catch myself, I lose my composure. And the tears pouring down my face are proof of that.
だから最初に君がソーニャと仲良くしているのを知ったとき、僕は君をバカだと言ったんだ。
This right here is why I called the situation dumb when I first learned about it.
でもリンカは後悔していないと言ったね。その気持ちは今も変わっていないかい？
You said you didn't regret your decision though. Does that hold true, even now? Okay, is she wearing a skirt? I really can't tell if she's wearing a skirt or if she's wearing shorts. It kind of looks like shorts, but at the same time, I'd totally believe it if they were a skirt. I can't compose myself to respond verbally, so I have to nod in response.
そんなリンカだから僕は愛しているんだよ。
And this right here is exactly why I love you. She sits down next to me after saying that. The moment our shoulders touch, I turn and cling onto her. CG? She stays by my side the entire time I cry. No? Okay. Are they gonna... Oh no? After a glass of cold water, I manage to calm myself down. Meanwhile, Miharu gets ready to leave because she has to go to work.
ではまた明日学校で会おう。
I'll see you at school tomorrow.
ごめんね、さっきは泣いちゃって。ミハルは強いなって思ったよ。
Tomorrow? Isn't it Saturday? Yeah, sorry for crying so much. Today reminded me of how weak I am in comparison with you. Oh no, it's Sunday. Okay, I thought it was... Okay, whatever.
自覚がないかもしれないけれど、僕からすれば君の方がよっぽど強い。
You may not realize it yourself, but I'd say you're far stronger than me. I deny her claim with a shake of my head as she smiles at me.
選定の期間はまだ半分にも満ちていない。リンカの迷いが消えるまで僕は待っているよ。
We're not even halfway through Divine Selection. Remember that I'll be waiting for you once you've cleared up your own doubts. I guess I can mute this desktop audio thing too, since it's the one that's supposed to be managing
ミハルにもっと
the
自分の
alert
ことを
audio.
大切にしてほしいとも思うよ。
Thanks. I'd appreciate it if you showed the same concern for yourself, though.
その言葉そっくりそのまま君に返したいよ。そういえばさっきはまた学校でと言ったけれど、次に会うのは夢の中だったね。
Also, I guess Divine Selection is on Sunday, and I guess they're calling that the end of the week. I didn't know why I thought it was on Friday. Right back at you. Oh, and I said I'd see you at school tomorrow, but I guess we'll see each other in the dream world before then.
それ笑えないよね。じゃあまたね。
Hey, that's not a very funny joke. I'll see you later.
あ
Yeah. That said, she turns and makes her way out. I should be used to being alone here, yet somehow it feels a lot more quiet than before. It wasn't long ago that the three of us were talking and laughing together. It's already almost afternoon, but I decide to open the store up. I also decide to give my gran a call later on in the evening. Are we gonna, like, just jump cut to the call? Are we gonna get straight to Divine? Oh, we're just gonna go straight to Divine Selection. Okay.
ごきげんよう。運命の奴隷の皆様。
Good evening, my little slaves to fate. And thus today's session begins. I don't really remember what Parka's voice sounded like at all. Parka's graceful voice rings throughout the court. I really can't fathom what's going through her mind. For what purpose does she divulge the intricacies of fate to us? What drove her to begin Divine Selection in the first place?
浮かない顔をしてらっしゃいますわね。
My, aren't we a gloomy bunch? I refused to even consider her motivation before now, because I saw her as some ethereal being completely removed from the logic of humans. But now I find it hard not to remember what Sonia said. Fate can be changed. The idea of being able to alter the very events of this ritual had never even come to mind.
皆様、釣れませんわね。私と楽しくお話をしても損はしませんのに。
Come, why not lighten the mood and engage me in some riveting discussion?
いいから早くしろ。
Cut the crap and get on with it. Alan's curt response serves as his attempt to hurry things along. I wonder where he is in the real world. I stopped researching him after meeting Sonia.
あなた様はいつもせっかちですわね。何か焦っていらっしゃるのかしら？
You know what? Speaking of, I'm still like kind of upset that we got robbed of the oh ho ho and the desuwa in English Balder. I think it's Balder. I don't know, it's like they only allow Hector to oh ho ho. They took it away from Balder, and they also took away all of her desuwas. Although I understand that you really can't like desuwa in English, but still it kind of makes me upset. You're often in quite the rush, aren't you? Is there any particular reason for this?
余計な話を好かないだけだ。
I'm not one for pointless chit-chat.
それに、お前は中立の立場のはずだろう。僕との会話が他の参加者の有利になるかもしれない。
Besides, you're supposed to be a neutral party. Did you not consider the possibility that other participants could benefit from my talking to you?
お前自身の行動でこの選定が平等ではなくなるが、女神としてそれはいいのか？
Surely you wouldn't be pleased with your own actions if they give others an unfair advantage, would you?
あら、私は中立な立場で平等にこの選定を取り仕切ると申した覚えはありませんけれど。
Goodness, did something happen to my memory? I certainly don't recall making any claims about being a neutral party, nor that divine selection would be conducted in a fair manner.
おい、そりゃねえだろ。
I like how it still says male number 3. Even though, like, we know that's gotta be Federico. Now, I think I remember at one point I decided to, yeah, see, and not do that, and just go the, hey, hold on, that ain't right. Yeah, see. Federico Carminati is the next to chime in. Actually, this might be the first time I've heard him speak. Now that he's got my attention, I realize that he might actually be the tallest one here, and he's pretty stylish to boot. The suit he's wearing looks great on him. I wouldn't blame anyone if they confused him for a model.
俺たちの命がかかってんだぜ。平等じゃないんじゃ成り立たないだろ。
I sure as hell ain't fine with the idea of this whole thing being rigged when it's my life on the line.
ったくこいつは。
Christ, this guy. I don't even remember what I did for Odette's voice.
いかがなさいましたか？
Oh my, Is something the matter, numeral 3? Numeral 11 reacts to Federico's outburst, which causes Miharu to shoot me a quick glance. Looks like those two really are working together.
だいたい最初に配られるカードの時点で不公平だろ。
Well, this whole thing has been unfair ever since the cards were distributed at the beginning.
俺が初期カードを持ってる2人がこいつに脱落させられちまったんだ。
Two of the cards I got belong to people that guy's already eliminated. He points towards Alan as he states his concerns.
なら貴様の初期カードで有効なのは残り1枚というわけだ。
So, it's safe to say that you only have one card of value remaining from your initial lot then. What?
不平不満をこぼすのもいいが、自分から情報を開示するのは愚かなことだ。
Feel free to voice your issues regarding the system itself, but only a fool would lay information like that out in the open.
てめえ、いい度胸じゃねえか。
I like this version of Federico so much. I'm gonna make you regret it if you keep running that mouth, asshole.
僕に現状不満はない。女神、君が速やかに選定を進めればそれでいい。
I have no issue with the current system, so I'd prefer if you sped things along.
承知いたしましたわ。あなた様もそれでよろしいかしら？
Very well. I assume you are fine with it too? She turns to face Federico. He refuses to comply, raising his voice in a panic instead.
ちょっと待てよ。あんたたちもそれでいいのか？
Just a sec here. Are the rest of you fine with this? He directs his question outward to the remaining participants, his arms spread wide. No one responds to him though. Not even numeral 11, his partner.
これで分かっただろう。
There's your answer.
不満がないわけではないが、余計なことを話して失態を見せるのは避けたいというのが総意だ。
They may have their own issues, but they're all united in not making a scene and embarrassing themselves like you have.
貴様のようにボロを出すのは特に愚かだ。
What's more, they'd much prefer not to make their own incompetence known to others, like you have.
てめえ、覚えてろよ。
I won't let you forget this, punk.
ああ、貴様が脱落するまでは覚えているだろう。
Don't worry, I have no intention of forgetting it until you've been eliminated. Barca ends up being the one to interrupt their argument with a sigh.
もう口喧嘩は現実世界でお願いしますわ。お会いすることがあればですけれど。
Really now, can you not save your argument for the real world? Assuming you meet there, of course. Following that, she makes her way to the center of the court.
それでは今宵も女神の選定を始めますわ。
Regardless, allow me to begin tonight's election.
回りなさい。
Oops.
それ回りなさい。運命の大時計。
Revolve, O clock of fate. Once again, it's time for us to decide whether or not we want to elect someone. Should things proceed as Sonia believes, numeral 11 will elect numeral 10 tonight. I grit my teeth at the inevitable and announce that I won't be electing anyone. Up next is Miharu, who will likely say the same. This is the fourth election, and it's safe to say there's a solid split between how each of us are approaching the situation. Some have opted to go all out with info gathering, while others are choosing to sit back and let the situation unfold. The fact that numerals 11 and 12 are the only ones to elect anyone yet is proof of that.
僕の番だね。10番。君を指名させてもらうよ。
Ooh, this is surprising. My turn then. In that case, I'll be electing you, numeral 10. What the?
ここに来て初めての方からのご指名ですわね。
Oh ho, a first timer will be taking the plunge.
承りましたわ。それでは他の皆様にも伺ってまいりましょう。
Very well. Allow me to question the remaining participants first. I can't hide my surprise. That's not good because it could act as a hint to others as it's known by this point that we're acquainted. But that isn't enough to stop me from acting out. Meanwhile, Sonia seems unfazed by Miharu's election. Don't tell me. Did they plan this from the beginning? Was this all according to Keikaku? Their conversation that night wasn't just about Sonia having Miharu's name card, but this as well? As I'm mulling it over, the clock hand eventually revolves around the numeral 11.
指名するぜ私はよそこの小娘と同じ10番のこいつをさ
What voice should we give Odette? Yeah, I got an election alright. Same as that broad over there. I'm going for numeral X. She points to Sonia. It's obvious that she hadn't anticipated this scenario. She doesn't seem bent out of shape though. She looks more like she's enjoying this turn of events, much like a predator would as it bares its fangs towards its prey. Numeral 11 knows that Sonia holds her name card. If Miharu eliminates Sonia, then it's possible that she could end up with said card. Naturally, this is something numeral 11 would want to avoid. The same likely applies to Miharu. That's why they're both aiming to have Sonia's election called off. It wouldn't make sense for one of them to put their own cards out there to protect another.
さあ女神さんこういう場合はどうするんだっけ
So, what was in your script when this kind of situation comes about?
指名の優先権を取得するかどうか決めていただきますわご自身のカードを1枚全員に公開すれば優先権を取得できます
We ascertain whether or not you wish to obtain election priority, which requires that one of you reveal a personal card to the other participants.
この場合先に決めた側が駆け引きで不利になりますから同時に決めていただきます
Whoever does so first will be at a disadvantage, so do make your intentions known at the same time.
優先権を取得する場合はご自身のカードを1枚私へ差し出してください
Should you wish to obtain priority, then by all means, present me with one of your personal cards.
かく無理で構わねえ私から意思表示してやるよ優先権はノーだいらねえあとはてめえの方で決めてくれ
Ain't too fussed about fair or unfair. Gotta make it clear that I'm not interested in doing that, so the decision's all yours, girly.
もう11番様私がルールを申し上げているのですから守ってくださいな
Come now, numeral 11. I would much appreciate it if you were to abide by my proposed rules.
それで2番様はいかがなさいますか
Your stance on the matter, numeral 2. Parka turns to face Miharu's, speaking in a slow and soft tone. Okay, that needs to be a lot quieter. Miharu nods in response, opening her card book. She produces one card from it.
僕は使命のカードを公開しようこれをもって優先権を取得し10番君を指名させてもらう
I'll reveal my name card to the rest of the participants. Now that I have the right to do so, numeral 10, I elect you. Sonia remains unfazed by this turn of events. Her expression seems forlorn, but that's been true ever since Divine Selection began. Meanwhile, numeral 11 has stopped smiling. She's giving Miharu a vitriolic glare instead. She's lowering her speed, or whatever it is.
あいつ面白いじゃねえか
She abandoned her own name. Well, no denying that she's an interesting one.
承りました
Very well.
それではこれより2番様による10番様のご指名を開始いたしますわ
With that decided, numeral 2 and numeral 10, allow me to begin the election procedure. A familiar tremor accompanies her statement. Shortly after, Miharu's and Sonia's platforms ascend to the upper stratum. I wonder if we'll see this or not. Like, if we'll actually see what their interaction with each other. Oh, I guess we will. Miharu and Sonia face one another in the upper stratum of the Court of Fate. Neither look too happy with what will soon take place. Regardless, they make sure to maintain eye contact.
ミハルありがとうであります
Thank you, Miharu.
いやお礼を言うのは僕の方だよあの夜君の方から僕に声をかけてきた時は驚いたけれどその決断は間違っていないと信じているよ
I'm the one that should be thanking you. I certainly never expected such a proposition from you, but your decision is the right one.
はい。きっとお姉様ではできない判断だったと思うであります。
Yes, I knew that sister wouldn't be able to find it in her to do this.
僕は凛花のために命を捧げると決めているからね。覚悟するのはたやすいよ。
I've already settled on giving my life for Rinka, so steeling myself for events like this is an easy feat.
改めましてごきげんよう。
Good evening, once again. Parka appears out of nowhere as usual, offering them both a welcoming smile. Mihadi looks more than displeased by her presence.
あなた様方はお知り合いでいらっしゃったのですね。それに他の参加者たちのように敵意を向け合ってもいません。
I wonder if when it says like Mihadu looks more than displeased by her presence, I wonder if this is like the perspective of that weird book guy. Remember the book guy, like way at the beginning, the dude in like the toga with like the staff or whatever? I wonder if this is like from his perspective or something, or if they're just framing it as third person because we're not playing as any of these characters.
あなた様方はお知り合いでいらっしゃったのですね。それに他の参加者たちのように敵意を向け合ってもいません。
I see you two are already acquainted. What's more, you don't seem hostile towards one another like the other participants have been. The only hostility present right now is being directed toward Parka herself. Mihadu makes her desire to not engage with Parka clear by changing the subject.
この後、僕はどうすればいいのかな。
So, what do I do now?
10番様のカードを3枚お選びになってください。そしてそこに書かれている内容を読み上げてくださいませ。
Choose the 3 cards that correspond to numeral 10 and read their contents aloud to me.
あ
Right. Mihadu's cards emerge from her book and float in the air in front of her. She plucks 3 cards from them.
使命。ソフィア・プリジニチエ・アレクセーブナ。死因。詳細は省いて、ここに書かれているものをそのまま読むよ。
Oh, her flower glows too, as does her ribbon. Her name is Sofia Prysnitz Alexeyevna. I won't go into detail, but her cause of death was from illness.
ソフィア、君の願いは聞いたよ。僕は約束できないけれど、リンカは君の願いを受け止めた。
Sophia, I still can't make any promises regarding your request, but Rinka said she's willing to carry it out.
リンカが叶えたいというのであれば、僕も最大限協力をするよ。ただし、リンカが最後の一人に残ることが最優先なのは変わらない。
That being the case, I'll do everything I can to help her. Just remember that my priority is to ensure that she makes it through to the end.
はい、分かっています。
I'm aware of this.
それでもソーニャは最後にお姉様とミハルと会うことができて幸せでありました。
I can still say with all my confidence that meeting both of you brought me more happiness than I'd ever experienced before.
パサジールのこともどうかよろしくするであります。
Please take care of Passagier for me.
ああ、
We will. Mihadu casts her eyes back down to her that's not her voice. Her cards. A few moments later, she closes her eyes and recites the content of the 3rd card.
未練。広く自由に世界を見ること。
Her regret was not having the freedom to see the world at large. All 3 cards begin to move on their own in response. Once they reach the middle of the Court of Fate, they come together and form a triangular shape.
さような。
僕はさよならという言葉が嫌いなんだ。願わくはリンカと僕の幸福を祈ってほしい。
I'm not fond of goodbyes. I'd much prefer you pray for myself and Rinka's happiness. Okay. She takes a deep breath before clasping her hands together and offering up a prayer.
凛花と美晴の未来に祝福がありますように。
May Rinka and Miharu find joy in their future.
ありがとうソフィア。君のことは忘れない。
Thank you, Sophia. I'll never forget you.
どうか安らかに。
May your soul rest in peace. The light from Miharu's cards grows stronger and brighter until it engulfs the entire area. Miharu makes sure to keep her eyes on Sonia's tear-stained face, no matter how blinding the light grows. Oh. Feelings of regret and emptiness begin to flow into her. She finds herself laying on Sophia's bed in her room. Why is her room a hospital? The doctors rushed in as her parents looked on, praying for her safety. The girl reflected upon her life as her breathing grew even more pained. The ceiling of this room was perhaps the most viewed scenery she'd witnessed throughout her life. She could only ever experience the outside world through a book or monitor. Freedom remained a foreign concept. Just how much time did she spend imagining the wonders that would come with attaining such a thing? In the end, her life was nothing but dull. Dull to the point where she spent her final moments contemplating her reality and how it compared to the vast world she'd so longed to experience.
"趣味が悪いな。脱落した人間の今際の際を指名者に見せるなんてね。
You have to be rotten to the core to make us experience the last moments of those we eliminate.
私が意図したものではありませんわ。これは儀式でございますから。
Unfortunately, I had no say in the matter. Do not forget that this is a ritual.
あなた様の指名により選定中一時的に変わっていた運命が元の死の運命へと強制的に引き戻される。
Your election tonight has forcefully reverted the fate of that young girl back to its original course.
この場所の力を借り儀式は行われる。その余波があなたに言ってしまうのはあくまで弊害。どうしようもないことでございますわ。
The court of fate exists to carry out that ritual. Alas, nothing can be done about each participant being affected by the aftermath of their own actions.
待ってくれ。君の女神の意図ではない。これは女神の選定だろう。君の意図しない力が干渉しているというのか。
Wait a minute. You mean to tell me you had no say in the matter despite the ritual being named divine selection? Is there a force involved here that even you cannot control? Rather than receive an answer, Miharu's platform begins its descent. It returns to the lower stratum. What about the cards? Did she not have any other cards?
無用な詮索をする方は好きではございませんの。
Did she not have any cards that Miharu didn't? They didn't do the card selection. I'm not terribly fond of needless curiosities. Parka utters her words only after Miharu has gotten far enough away. Oops. Numeral 2 comes back down instead of Odette this time. It's been obvious that her and Numeral 1 know each other ever since this whole thing started. I also figured they aren't at odds with each other, which means they're likely— oh, I'm sorry, this is Federico Carminati. I'm sorry. Numeral 2 comes back down instead of Odette this time. It's been obvious that her and Numeral 1 know each other ever since this whole thing started. I also figured they aren't at odds with each other, which means it's likely they're working together, like me and Odette. Damn, did tonight ever take me by surprise? I'm sure she'd back down once Odette said she would. Odette's obviously going to prioritize protecting her own information over eliminating Sophia. Even if the chance of me cooperating with Sophia existed, it was still a lot less dangerous for Odette to get a hold of the information Sophia had than another participant. Odette's point in ignoring what Parka said was to make it clear that there's no need for Numeral 2 to reveal one of her cards. But she went in and gave up her name card anyway. That sure is throwing me for a loop. Gotta say, that Numeral 1 sure is a little runt compared to Numeral 2. I assume they're both Asian, but boy does Numeral 2 have the right glamour and proportions. Who's Numeral 2? Oh wait, is that Miharu? Is she Numeral 2? She is Numeral 2, okay. For some reason I thought that she was 3, even though that's Federico. I figured she'd get eliminated pretty quick, but she went ahead and surprised me. That's a woman after my own heart. The best women are the gutsy ones, definitely. Not counting freaks in nature like Odette, of course.
それでは
Oh, I guess they do it now. I thought they did it up there. Which card would you like to obtain? She poses the all-important question to numeral 2. No doubt she's gunning for Odette's card.
僕は1番死因のカードをもらおう。
I'll take numeral 1's cause of death. Damn, she betrays my expectations yet again.
どういうこと？ソーニャが
Oh, what's going on here? She had that all along? Doesn't look like anyone's more surprised by this turn of events than numeral 1 herself. Can't blame her. Out of all the cards numeral 2 could have picked, she went with the one belonging to the person she's working together with.
君はまだ理解が足りないようだね。これは選定なんだ。これ以上喋らないでくれ。
Oh, I see what they're doing. I think I see what they're doing. Why do you satisfy your urge to keep talking? Understand that the situation you're in requires being silent above all else. Numeral 2 slaps her with a frigid verbal warning. Numeral 1 is obviously taken aback, but it does cause her to keep quiet.
それでは2番様、指名の優先権を取得した代償として、あなた自身のカードを私にお渡しくださいませ。
Now that your election is over, I'd like you to hand me the personal card of your choosing in exchange for obtaining the right to eliminate numeral 10.
ああ、これでいいのかい？
I assume this is fine. Parka approaches her and is handed a card. My card book begins to shine immediately after. Oh, that's interesting. I thought maybe Parker would just read it out. But I guess it just and they would all get it. But I guess it's automatically transferred to them. 2. Name. Ebinada Miharu.
ミハルエビナとか
Miharu Ebinada. Huh. Miharu is pretty easy for me to pronounce. Guess this explains the procedure of revealing your card to the others. Feels more fitting to say that everyone simply obtains it. The others check their card books as well.
ミハル、どうして？
Why, Miharu?
今はもう君と話すことは何もない。
I have nothing more to say to you at the moment. Numeral 1 was surprised over obtaining her cards too. That means Miharu never revealed her real name. Safe to say what's going on here at this point if you ask me. Their relationship's done for. I mean, yeah, I feel like that was pretty obvious. What Miharu's scheming here. She's trying to make it seem like her and Rinka like aren't colluding with each other. Why is my Pro Controller on? What? The light just blinked on. It's not plugged in, is it? Wait. Oh no, it is. Oh wait, no. No, it is. It is. That's my capture card. It's not plugged in. Huh. Well, I wasn't expecting that. I just looked over and my Pro Controller was on. Glad it didn't, connect to my computer. But it's plugged into the Switch, so I guess it's fine. Tonight's session resulted in 1 elimination. I bid you all farewell for now. Okay, so let's think about this. We're still missing 3 people, and we know one of them's got to be the old guy, but I have no clue about who 2 of them could be. I have no idea about 9. 9's was a gold medal. Maybe that's the old guy? 4 was a fire. I wonder who that could be. Huh. Parka brings an end to tonight's election, ignoring numeral 1's shock over the turn of events. This whole situation's gotten pretty messy now. I was starting to panic a bit myself, considering now Odette and numeral 12 were outdoing me, but I guess we're at the point where anything can happen. And hey, watching Odette get taken for a ride felt amazing. I was even planning on approaching Miharu had she opted to go with Odette's info. It seems I'm best sticking off with Odette for now. When all's said and done, I have to put some serious effort into containing this newfound ambition of mine. Never know, never. It's time to meet up with Odette at the hotel, and I still haven't gotten over my excitement about what happened last night in the dream world. I can't wait for Odette to be like, nah, you fool, that was obviously an act, and like blow the whole thing wide open. Yo, did you see those two last night? Looks like numerals 1 and 2 have some major issues to work out, huh? Man, there's just something thrilling about watching a falling out like that. Odette makes it obvious how little she cares about listening to me as I ramble on and on.
朝からうるせえやつだな。んなことより朝飯だ。ここのホテルのバイキングにはもう飽きちまったが、味は悪くねえからな。
She eats so much. The hotel staff must just be trembling in fear of Odette. Christ, am I not being this annoying first thing in the morning? All I care about is getting some grub, so let's hit up the buffet. Kinda bored of the selection, but it still tastes good enough to choke down. Dear, I thought it'd be useful info for whenever we decide to target them. After saying that, I finally noticed that Odette's in a rotten mood. The excitement I got from their little quarrel made me all forget about what actually happened during last night's election.
私を出し抜いたんだ。ミハルってのは侮れねえ。
That Miharu kid ain't to be taken lightly, especially since she beat me to the punch. We should check what her thing is now that she knows. Oh, are they not gonna tell us? Oh, I forgot about that. They don't let us show it unless it's information that, like, we know, that, like, Rinka knows they have. So we won't even, like, learn Rinka's own cause of death until she reveals it. Man. I like that everybody has this now, except for Six, because she's dead. D-E-D, dead. Edge. She might look annoyed, but here's the thing. Her voice makes her sound a little thrilled by it.
面白くなってきたぜ。
This game's finally getting interesting. I don't think I'll ever understand this monster's logic. Not after this outburst and what she did to that Russian brat. I can say one thing for sure though. She ain't the only one who thinks things have finally gotten interesting. She's so skinny. Odette's too skinny in my opinion. She tapers way too much. She's got like such like big legs and like she's got like such like a toned body and she just like turns into a stick. It's very strange. She just like it's I don't know. It looks kind of weird in my opinion. It's like what? Why is her waist? Why is her stomach like 5 inches wide? For the first time in a few days, I'm all alone when I wake up. My eyes feel dry. That leads me to believe I was crying in my sleep. I really am a weakling. What is this? Oh, it's just a really long version of this. Oh, okay. Okay, what's this? Okay, no, okay. Is this the short version? Oh yeah, I remember. This is just the version of it that, this cuts off soon. This part, I think it's the longer part. And this has, like, more in it? Yeah. This is, like, the beginning of it. What's this? Okay, I don't know what the difference between these two are. I think this is just the full thing. Yeah, okay. That's enough of that. I can't deny that I enjoyed the time I spent together with Sonia. Being with her helped to take my mind off the pressure of divine selection. I do my best to hold back any more tears as I make my way over to my desk. I pick up my card book and peer at the card I obtained last night. It's the card that Miharu revealed to every participant in order to earn the right to eliminate Sonia. Hebinada Miharu. That's what's written in Miharu's name card. The surname doesn't ring any bells, but considering her family situation, I can guess what happened. What's more, Miharu obtained my cause of death card last night. Information that even I don't know the full details of. Her actions last night left me visibly shaken, which led her to take on a cold attitude toward me. I can't help but remember what she said. I have nothing more to say to you at the moment.
そういうことだよね、ミハル。
I see what you're doing, Miharu. After making that comment, I get ready for school. Oh no, not the ads already? There's no way that can be right. I leave the TV on as I do... What? I leave the TV on as I do so, which is how I come to learn some interesting news. Apparently, a suspicious-looking black bag was left on one of the Yamanote line trains near Shibuya Station. The police initially suspected it to be an attempted terrorist attack, but after inspections, the bag turned out to be empty. Part of me wonders if one of the Divine Selection participants might have been involved, but based on the reports, I can't think of any links to them. Ouch. As I listen to the report, I suddenly get a pounding headache. I start to feel stressed out and exhausted, both physically and mentally. I must have imagined the grisly scene of a terrorist attack unconsciously while watching the news. Thanks to all the excitement, it seems like the trains are running late. I make sure to head out earlier than usual. I still can't get used to her without her glasses. Oh, Rinka! I bump into Naomi on my way into school. I'd never seen her run in the morning because she always comes earlier than me, but I guess the train's delayed her enough today. She notices me first, so she spins around her body to face me. Oh, so she has like ultra instinct for Rinka. Oh, whoa. Except the spin is so sudden that it causes her to lose balance.
ちょっと。
Careful. I quickly grab her hand and support her so she doesn't fall. It's been a while since I last saw one of Naomi's tripping scenes. Then again, it's been a while since I last saw Naomi, period.
すみません。
Sorry about that.
もう大丈夫？
As clumsy as ever, aren't you? She struggles to hide her. I probably should have just ran the ad, like, early. I probably should have just done that, since we had a nice break point here. She struggles to hide her embarrassment as she props herself back upright.
どう？文化祭の準備は進んでる？
How are preparations for the culture festival coming along?
そこそこって感じです。まだ内装の飾り付けとかをどうするか全然決まってなくて。
So-so, I guess. We still haven't decided what to do for interior decorations and all that.
あ、でもコーヒーはバッチリですよ。最優先でみんなに教えています。
Oh, but I did make sure to prioritize passing on what you taught me about brewing coffee. Everything's going well on that front.
よかった。元気そうで。文化祭はもう来週だから、あっという間だね。
Glad to hear that you're doing well. Hard to believe the culture festival's next week, all things considered. I'm not even sure how things are going with my own class right now. I might end up helping them with something the day of, but for now, I've no idea whether or not things are progressing well.
先輩は
How are things going with... She really kind of reminds me of Strawberry Shortcake. Just as Naomi is about to say something, a voice calls out to me from behind her.
おはようリンカと羊さん。
Good morning, Rinka. And you too, Naomi. Miharu has just arrived, it seems. As always, her hair flutters elegantly in the wind. She's so dreamy. She speaks to me like normal, almost as if what happened in the dream world last night never took place. I do my best to follow along, considering Naomi's presence.
三島先輩。
She's like, I can't compete with her. I gotta get out of here. An apex predator has arrived. Miharu, sorry, but I better make my way to class before the bell rings. Saved by the bell. Oh, we'll go with you. She skitters off towards the building before I can finish my sentence.
僕はやはり避けられているみたいだね。
Looks like she really is avoiding me. I struggle to find an appropriate response. However, she removes that burden from me by making the response herself.
まあ仕方ない。もともと原因を作ったのは僕の方だってことは分かっているよ。
Well, I can't blame her. After all, I'm the one responsible for her evasiveness.
ナオミと何かあったの？
Huh? Did something happen between you two? Oh, nothing. I just gave her the boyfriend talk.
くせ。大丈夫。大したことではないよ。さあ、僕たちも教室へ行こう。遅刻ギリギリだ。
Not to worry. It's nothing major. We should be on our way as well, though. We'll be late for class and the ads are about to start. So, yeah. Oh, the ads. I kind of want to continue going on, but at the same time, I feel like we're finally getting somewhere, and I'm just not quite sure. So, I don't know. There's not even anything. Oh, I guess I can talk about the playlist. Yeah. So I made really some music. This music isn't included, but some of just like the real songs, not like the royalty stuff that I play. I added a playlist on YouTube for some of the songs. The main thing, though, however, is I have a Spotify account that has the playlists, because that's what I listen. Is it not keeping me logged in? That's really annoying. Really annoying that that's not keeping me logged in. But yeah, got a playlist for both of them. Minecraft ones and then another set of songs. I might add some more playlists later on, but it was just something I thought about, and I was like, you know what? People might be interested in like finding some of these songs in case they want to add them to their own playlists or just know what they are. So yeah. Aside from that, I don't know. Not really a lot to talk about. Excuse me, I guess. That's not the right thing. Oops, that's also not the right thing. Oh, that's cool. I forgot it blocks like the command things from showing up here. Yeah, because I've blocked like the stream element stuff. So it's smart enough to know that. I saw there was somebody else doing Fatal 12. I want to see if there's anybody. They're still streaming it. They looked like they were ahead of me, so I moved away from the category page. But let's see. They are, and it looks like they are still ahead of me. Okay, cool. Yeah. Anyway. Guess we'll wait for the... What ad am I getting over here? Is this Subway? Meal of the day. Huh. Interesting. I like that I still haven't updated my Twitch app. And it always talks about how, like, it's totally, like, broken and, like, not working. But, like, it's still totally working. So... that's what I always think is funny. This is a pretty nice list of things. Man, there really isn't anything past 50k, is there? I'm just looking, because, you can see points. I don't like the IRL voice ban and voice unban aren't next to each other. That's kind of annoying. I probably should have them next to each other. Nice posture. Nice, looks like we're back. Uh-huh.
ちょっと待って。あのさ、昨日のことだけど。
Hold on. I still gotta talk to you about last night.
うまく話題をそらしたつもりだったんだけどね。放課後バイトが終わったら僕からライオン館へ行くよ。それでいいかい？
And here I thought I'd be able to distract you from that topic. I plan on going to the Lion House after I finish my shift tonight. So can it wait until then?
話をそらすっていうの、嘘。
You never intended to talk about it. Here, did you? Her smile upon hearing my question is enough of an answer for me. She's fully aware that I want to talk about last night's events. The flood of students pouring into school eventually forces us to ride the wave with them. They rode the wave? Now is... Oh, there she is. I was gonna say, is Mao gonna be here? Time for lunch, Rennie. Oh my god. I do remember Mao's voice. I know, didn't we originally make that Miharu's voice? Mao darts over to my desk as soon as the bell for lunch break rings. I skipped breakfast today, so I'm starving.
朝ごはん食べてないのはいつもでしょ。じゃあ、みはるにも声を。
Don't you always skip breakfast? Anyway, let me get Miharu first.
にゃ、みはるんは今日奨学金の説明かなんかで先生のところに行かなくちゃいけないんだって。
Don't bother. She's been called to the teacher's lounge to talk about her scholarship funding.
で、さっき先生がみはるんのこと呼んでたの聞いてなかったか。
How'd you miss her being asked to go there in the first place?
あ、そういえば先生に呼ばれてたような。
Oh, now that you mention it, that did happen.
イータンは相変わらず変なところで抜けてるな。
You sound out at the weirdest times, you know that?
なので今日は2人だよ。
Well, whatever. Just you and me today, sister. Sister. It's one of the songs, one of the covers I found recently. He goes, here. 'Cause I need you here with me. He says it really funny. Wait, hold on. Let me see if I can find it. It's just like a weird... it curls really strangely. Can I say something just between you and me? Every time, voice, I know I'm finally free. Everything you said is perfect as it can be. And I need you here with me. Here with me. I know I'm never wrong. When there's something, nothing at all. Everywhere you go, it's found it harder to breathe. 'Cause I need you here with me every day. We're saying the words that I want you to say. And it's pain in my heart and it won't go away. Now I know I'm falling deep. 'Cause I need you here with me every day. You're saying the words that I want you. This has nothing to do with the game, but it's funny. There's pain in my heart and it won't go away. Now I know I'm falling deep. 'Cause I need you here with me. Wasn't every time I go. Oh, I skipped way too far forward. I was okay. But I know that it's gonna show. Every night and night I find it harder to sleep. 'Cause I need you here with me every day. You're saying the words that I want you to say. There's a pain in my heart and it won't go away. 'Cause I know I'm falling deep. 'Cause I need you here with me every day. Saying the words that I want you to say. There's a pain in my heart and it won't go away. Now I know I'm falling deep. 'Cause I need you here with me. Can I tell you something just between you and me? When I hear your voice I know I'm finally free. Every single word is perfect as it can be. 'Cause I need you here with me. I think my favorite part about the playlist is it's got so many like really neutralish like keys that's just like it's perfect. She grabs my hand and drags me along to the cafeteria.
リータン、今日はパンじゃないんだね。
Oh, not sticking with your staple bread today?
ああ、なんとなくマオもだね。
No, I feel like trying something new. You're not having your usual either.
うちはリータンがご飯系にしたから合わせたのだよ。
Rip. Well, I grabbed this since it'll go well with that delicious looking rice she got there. Mao has opted for karage this time around, while I've gone with curry. We don't normally go for this kind of stuff, and since we need to carry it all the way to the rooftop, but I wanted something with a strong flavor today, so I picked this without too much thought.
リータンは辛いの苦手だと思ってたけど、カレーなんだね。
Kinda surprised you went with curry. I figured you weren't a fan of spicy stuff.
いや、辛いのも甘いのも好きだよ。極端に辛かったり、やたら甘かったりするのが好きじゃないだけ。
Nah, I'm fine with both spicy and sweet stuff, so long as they don't go overboard with it at least.
うんうん、知ってたよ。
Yeah, that's what I thought. Mao nods her head multiple times in an attempt to seem all-knowing. I dismiss it with a smile. As I smile, I remove the packaging on my curry. If I don't do it now, odds are I might actually forget to eat while talking with Mao.
にはははは。疲れてるんだね、リータンも。
What was that? What was that sound? Oh ho 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 ho. Looks like I'm not the only one who ain't all here today.
どうしたの？急に。
What makes you say that?
いや、だってスプーン忘れてるからさ。
Well, your lack of spoon, for one thing.
あ、
Oh. Aw. You can pick up chopsticks and spoons at your leisure in the cafeteria, but it completely slipped my mind that I'd need one. All I have is a small hand towel.
では、そのおしぼりとこれを交換してあげよう。
Allow me to offer you a trade then. She reduces a small plastic spoon from within the plastic bag she has with her. She hands it over to me in exchange for my towel.
さて、魔王様と呼びなさい。
Also, thou shalt address me as Queen Mao.
どうもありがとう、マオ様。
Queen Mao, I am grateful that you have bestowed this spoon upon me.
こうも平然と言われると面白みがないというか。
I'd have preferred it if you were just a teensy bit hesitant. Looks like she was banking on me not being too pleased about having to bow down to her like that. I figured that was going to be her ultimate demand, hence why I said it right up front.
本場のインドカレーみたいに手で食べることになっちゃうとこだったね。
Damn though, you would have had to eat that with your bare hands like they do with Indian curry if it weren't for me. Just hearing the word Indian causes Alan to pop up in my head for a brief moment. That's... okay. Fortunately, her joke is a bit on the extreme side, so my involuntary reaction works for her too. I end up spending all of the lunch break chatting away with Mao. Just as we were about to finish eating, she brings up a topic I don't expect.
そういやさ、リータンは気づいてないかもしれないけど、ここ最近
Oh,
リンは
Naomi.
ずっとリータンのこと気にしてるよ。
Oh yeah, I forgot to tell you, Naorine's got her mind on you a lot these days. Don't think you noticed it though. I asked her what she means, but she waves off my question and continues.
あれは完全に恋する乙女の瞳ですな。
Gotta say, only a girl in love could make the face she did.
バカ。そういう言い方はナオミに失礼でしょ。
Oh, shut it. Now you're just being rude to her.
いやーまあいいんだけどさ、最近ナオリンほったらかしにされて寂しそうだよ。
Fine, you can believe whatever you want, but she's been looking awfully lonely ever since you started to neglect her.
ほったらかしって、ナオミも文化祭の準備で忙しいって言ってたからさ。
Hey, that's not fair. She told me she's busy with preparations for the culture festival, so I'm giving her space.
ミハルンに比べればナオリンは我慢しちゃう子だからね。
Thing is, Naureen ain't like Miharun. She's the kind of gal that'll keep her desires locked up inside.
ともかくさ、リータン自身が最近ずっと疲れちゃってるからさ、ちょっとは休んだ方がいいよ。
Anyway, you've been looking pretty rough for a while now, Rinny. How about getting some proper rest?
リータンが元気ないと基本的にうちらみんな元気なくなるしね。
Oh, Mao also doesn't have the thing. But she also doesn't have the cuffs, the same cuffs that Miharu has. Maybe Miharu just has like she just has like a different variation on their uniform. Because she also has a longer skirt than these two. Maybe it's just a different style of the uniform. The group just isn't the same when you're not your usual perky self.
リータンが今どれくらい元気がないかっていうと、スプーンを忘れるだけじゃなくて、カレーを食べながら口の周りを汚しちゃうくらい。
Like today, for instance, not only did you forget to grab a spoon for your curry, but you haven't even noticed that you got it smeared all over your face. She opens the pack containing the towel I traded for her spoon and hands it to me.
ほれ、おしぼりあげるから魔王様と呼びなさい。
I bequeath you this towel, and in recompense, you will refer to me once again as Queen Mao.
魔王様。
Oh, okay, I'll be honest, this was a lot funnier than just her saying Queen Mao. My everlasting gratitude, Queen Mao.
またか。
Not again. And yep, guess I do have curry plastered all over the left side of my mouth. Left side, right side. Mao's probably right. Everything that's happened recently has left me mentally exhausted. Even so, I doubt I'll be able to get any proper rest in the near future. After all,
まあ、とは言っても、リータンには魔王様のどんなアドバイスも無駄なのは分かっておるよ。
granted, I'm aware that she won't take any advice given by this fine piece of royalty to heart. That's not her voice, really, but whatever.
あんたね。
This girl. Mao jams her trash into the plastic bag before standing up. Trash Jam? Trash Jam sounds like it could be a pretty awesome game, not gonna lie. At the very least, you should do what feels right to you.
ありがとう。
Thanks. I am genuinely grateful to hear that from her. There's no way she could know about divine selection. Not even Miharu would divulge that sort of thing to her. And that's okay. That's how it should be. That's exactly why her words are such a relief to hear.
じゃ、これ捨てといてね。うちはミハルのとこ遊びに行ってくる。
Well, do me a favor and check this. I'm gonna go bother Miharun. She hands me the plastic bag and takes her leave. Once she's gone, I finish up my own lunch before following her lead. Every day, after the classes and for the day, I head out of school with the intention of going home. However, once I reach the gate, I notice now me leaning against the wall with her eyes cast down. She didn't seem to have noticed me, so I call out to her, "Oh, Rinka, I was waiting for you, I was waiting for you, actually."
私はあれ、文化祭の準備はいいの？
You were? What happened with preparations for the culture festival? Is there not a character list either? No, there's not like a character list. There is like a card list, but we don't have a list of people outside of Divine Selection. I guess it doesn't matter because so far there's only been 2. What happened to preparations for the culture festival?
はい。今朝飾り付けがまだって話をしてたと思うんですけど、小物とか全然決まってない。
How is everyone? I told you about how we hadn't decided on interior decorations this morning, right? Well, there are other issues.
カップとソーサーを たくさん揃えると予算オーバーなので紙コップなんですけど、せめてコースターとかマドラーとかお砂糖入れとかは可愛いのがいいって。
Our budget won't allow us to buy lots of coffee mugs and plating, so we decided to use plastic cups. That's why we thought it'd be best to at least make sure the coasters and such are nice and cute.
それでもしお時間あれば買い物に付き合ってくれませんか？
So, would you mind going with me to shop for them? Only if you have the time, of course. Budget probably isn't the only issue. I doubt they have enough people to wash mugs one by one. It's probably best that they stick to disposable plastic ones anyway, what with all the hygienic issues to consider at such events. I happen to know a place that has exactly what she needs, so I don't see any harm in taking her there. I won't see Miharu until later tonight anyway, so it'll be fine as long as I keep track of the time.
大丈夫だよ。でもそれくらいならメッセージで教えてくれればよかったのに。
Sure, I don't mind. You should have messaged me instead of waiting like this, though.
事前に言ったら先輩に予定を空けさせちゃうんじゃないかなって思ったので、本当に時間があればでいいですから。
I didn't want you to feel like you had to cancel any other plans, so if you're busy, then please do prioritize that. She trails off, drawing her eyes away from me. It's my fault that she's acting this way around me, so I can't exactly brush her off. Brush her off?
気にしなくて。
Brush her off!
じゃあ行こうか。とりあえず渋谷に知ってるお店があるから、そこから見てみよう。
Come on, you don't need to worry about that. I know a good place in I know a good place in Shibuya, so let's head there. Shibuya.
ありがとうございます。
He's my favorite country artist, Shibuya. Alright, thank you very much. With that, we make our way to the station. After we finish our shopping trip in Shibuya, we hop on the train to head home. At Shinjuku, we have a little downtime while we wait for our transfer to arrive.
ありがとうございます。さすが先輩ですね。可愛いのがたくさん買えました。
Again, thank you so much, Rinka. I didn't expect to leave there with so much.
ならよかった。
Hey, glad I could help. Naomi struggled to make a decision in the store, so she ended up picking up 3 different items for each category. Her plan is to show them to the rest of the class and then decide on which to use.
でもナオミは偉いね。リーダーって感じ。
I gotta hand it to you, you're really killing it as the class rep. Color me impressed.
いえ、ただ私以外に仕切る人がいないから。
Every day.
流れで私がリーダーみたいになっているだけです。
Not at all. I'm only doing it because no one else volunteered.
そういうところが偉いねってことだよ。
I know, I go back to you, which is why I'm so impressed with how seriously you're taking it. She must have felt her face burn a bright red as she diverts her gaze from me immediately. From what I've heard, it sounds like she's getting along with her classmates as well. I wouldn't be surprised if her taking charge of the culture festival played a part in that. Considering how scared of me she was when we first met, she's definitely come a long way. I guess that makes her the exact opposite of me. Just as we're about to get on the train, she stabs me with a sharp glare. And then she leans in and whispers, Mukuro Ikusawa, the 16th student hiding somewhere in this school. The one they call the ultimate plot device. Watch out for her.
先輩、あの人。
Look, over there. Oh, it's the girl boy. She motions towards someone in the distance with enough subtlety to prevent bringing us any undue attention.
銀の髪の。
That silver-haired person seems suspicious.
銀。
Oh, wait, hold on. Silver hair? Let's see. Oh, wait. Silver hair? Let's see. Her? Oh. My shoulders stiffen the moment I spot her. Her train hasn't arrived yet, so...
ナオミ先帰ってて。
Naomi, you head back first.
待ってください。先輩がそんなに焦るってことは、あの子選定の参加者なんですよね。確か子供が2人混ざっていたって言ってました。
Just a moment. Judging by your reaction, I assume that's another participant. I do recall you mentioning there being 2 children. Yeah. Numerals 4 and 10 to be precise. Sonia's been eliminated, which leaves only... numeral 4. I happen to have her cause of death card, but other than that, I don't know a single thing about her. That must mean Rinka's cause of death is also a fire, right? I'd chalk up her appearance here as a coincidence, but that'd probably be a mistake. Not only have Sonia and Alan turned up in Shinjuku, but now she has two. There's gotta be a reason. The foggy spots in my mind, memories regarding my cause of death, and what Parka explained at their initial meeting are likely linked to the same reason. I shouldn't waste my time trying to figure that out right now, though.
聞いてますか？
Are you listening?
ごめん、ちょっとあの子のことを考えてた。ってあれ、そういえばどうしてナオミがあの女の子を知ってるの？
Sorry, I got lost in thoughts all alone. How do you know her anyway?
どこかで見たことがあるような気がして。
Oh, they're having a repeat of this.
そんなはずはないですよね。
I'm not sure why, but he seems familiar for some reason.
先輩から聞いていた情報からなんとなく想像していたんですかね。ってあれ、あの子男の子じゃないですか？
Plus, I had a rough image of what he'd look like based off your description. Wait, her? Isn't that a boy?
男の子かな。華奢だし顔も女の子っぽいけど。あれ、この会話をどこかでしたような。
Huh, you think? Looks awfully feminine to me. Haven't we had this conversation before?
あ、私が言いたかったのはそうじゃなくて、
Either way, their gender isn't the point here.
向こうはまだこちらに気づいていないみたいです。だったら後をつけた方がいいと思います。
They haven't noticed us yet, so we should tell them now, while we have the advantage. The tone of her voice matches the serious expression on her face.
少しでも情報を持っておいた方がいいかと。あ、ごめんなさい。私余計なことを。
Wait, are we still in week 4? Okay. But even though it's Monday, we're still in week 4? Or is it not going to display week 5 until after we've is it not going to show up until we complete this day, and it'll be the 28th, and I'll start the new week? The more information you can get your hands on, the Oh, sorry, I shouldn't butt in like this anymore.
うん、ありがとう。私もそのつもりだったから。
Don't worry about it, I was just thinking the same thing, to be honest.
でも一人で行く。だからさっき先帰っててって言ったんだ。ごめんね、言葉足らずで。
I asked you to head home first because I was going to do that on my own. Sorry for being unclear. Her gaze falls to the floor, and after a moment of consideration, she nods.
はい。危険があるのは分かっていますから。でも、もし写真を撮ったりして、それをもとに家での調べ物とかがあれば、私、いつでも先輩の協力をします。させてください。
I'm well aware of the dangers involved, so I'll do as I'm told, but remember that I'm always willing to help. If you manage to snap a picture of them, I can use that to do my own research from home.
気持ちだけでもすごく嬉しいよ。ありがとう。
Just hearing that is relief enough, thanks.
はい。気をつけてください。
Be careful, okay? I respond with a firm nod before we part ways.
ごめんね、ナオミ。
Sorry, Naomi. I apologize to her under my breath as we split up. Next, I pick up my pace to keep the girl in sight. After 30 minutes of tailing her, we finally reach what seems to be her destination. Upon leaving Shinjuku Station, she takes the Chuo line all the way to a residential district. Is she keeping in mind that she's supposed to meet with Miharu later? Judging by her familiarity with the area, she must live around here. She certainly doesn't look Japanese, but there aren't any hotels around here. That probably means she isn't here on holiday with her family, unlike Sonia. That leaves only one alternative. It's hardly surprising though. Lots of foreigners live in this area.
あの家だ。
Okay, here we go. She stops in front of and then makes her way into one of the houses. Seems like a pretty old place. Older than the houses around it anyway. Another thing that makes it stick out is how run down it is. A decent earthquake could probably shake it down with ease. I'm hardly a pro when it comes to tailing people, but I think it's safe to say that I wasn't noticed. There's no need for me to escalate things yet, so I check out the nameplate at the entrance after making sure she's gone inside. It's a bit faded, but not enough to make it illegible. Ushizuka. Safe to say that's the surname of this house's owner. Does the same apply to her, though? My instinct says no. In fact, it's entirely possible that she's squatting at an empty home for some temporary lodging. Ducking behind the wall of the house next door, I tried to eavesdrop on any conversations going on. Lucky for me, I'm able to hear something. Nothing specific, but the walls are thin enough to leak out the voices from inside. Sounds like there are at least two people inside. One is likely the girl, but the other sounds like an old man. I'd guess that the latter owns this place, which means the girl is probably staying with his permission. I wonder, does my card book work with conversations involving someone who isn't a participant? Considering I was able to hold a conversation with that one tourist before I even knew anything about Divine Selection, it's probably safe to assume it does. I'm pretty sure that tourist was the lady, though.
そろそろ戻ろう。
I should head back. It's my best option for now, especially when I can't make out exactly what they're saying. Just as I'm about to walk away, a passerby starts talking to me. She's in her early 40s and is carrying a bag from the supermarket. I assume she was out buying things for dinner.
あら、牛塚さんに用事かしら。
Oh, are you an acquaintance of Mr. Ushizuka?
いえ。
Not quite, no. I'm taken aback at first, but she might know something about that girl if she lives in the area.
この家って昔から外国人の子供が住んでいたんですか？
When did that foreign child start living here?
あら、あなたも気になる？
The best person to ask, the housewife. Definitely. Like, this is actually like a great way for her to dig up this info. Oh, I see that's caught your attention as well. Her face twists into a sly grin in addition to her response. I know her type. That's the exact same expression made by the kids at school when they gossip about others.
牛塚さん、家族と縁を切ったのか。ある時期からずっと一人暮らしだったのよ。
No one's certain why, but at some point he just cut off ties with the outside world.
あんまり家から出ないもんだから、近所では餓死したんじゃないかって噂も頻繁に立ってたの。数日経ってフラフラしているところを見かけて、ああ、大丈夫だった。なんてことよくあったのよ。
He rarely leaves the house. For a time, rumors kept spreading about how he'd starved himself to death. But then we'd notice him lurking around and carried on with our lives.
高齢者の孤独死って最近増えてるらしいし、大変よね。
Doesn't help that cases of old folks dying all alone are on the rise too.
でも、一月前くらいかしら。急にあの女の子の姿を見るようになって、近所では何か複雑な事情があったんじゃないかって噂になってるのよ。
But anyway, people first noticed that girl around a month or so back. Rumor has it that there are some dubious circumstances between them.
昔は夜の店での遊びが激しくって隠し子がいたとか。あら、こんな話はあなたに聞かせる話じゃないわね。
In fact, some say that he used to frequent certain illicit establishments, and that's his child. Oh, goodness me, I shouldn't be telling a young lady such things. That's funny. The look on her face practically screams that she wants to keep going.
じゃあ、あの子のことは皆さん知らないんですね。
So, no one knows who she really is?
ええ。牛塚さんが海外で悪いことをしてたんじゃないかって勘ぐる人もいて、みんな関わりたがらないのよ。
That's right. All sorts of bad rumors surround that man, including his nefarious deeds abroad, so no one wants to get too involved.
通報して恨まれたりしたら嫌だものね。
Of course, nobody wants to risk earning his wrath by reporting him to the police. The police? The police either.
それにあの子、病気を持ってるんじゃないかって噂もあるくらいだから、みんな近寄りたがらないのよ。
I've even heard rumors about how the girl has some sort of illness, which is even more reason for folks to keep their noses clean.
あなたも気をつけなさいね。最近あの人が気になってる人が多いみたいだけど。
You're probably best off not getting involved either.
すみません。ありがとうございました。
Thank you for the concern. Just listening to her gab on and on has pissed me off. I won't judge anyone for hazarding a guess about something, but using it as an excuse to spread unsavory rumors about him feels wrong. Plenty of older people live by themselves, so why would they make comments at his expense about it? Having given her my thanks, I use it as an excuse of my own to cut the conversation off there. My hunch seems to be on the mark at least. I might be able to find something out about that girl if I talk to him. I should head home for now though. I still got the store to attend to. Interesting. He's the old man I think I saw in the preview of that other stream. I make sure to message Naomi on the train home. I assume she's worried about me, all things considered. No point in giving an in-depth report, so I just text a quick summary. It doesn't take long for her to reply, telling me to get in touch if I need help. She said something similar when we split up too.
でもあの子と住んでいるのっておじいさんですよね。
Something's
妙に気になるような。
Something's definitely suspicious about the situation between those two. I'm curious about her thoughts on the matter, but that would just invite the same gossip as that lady. I need to handle this on my own. It's down to me to gather up as much info as I can. It's down to me? Okay, I guess so. It's down, like, she's the only one left, or like, they're down to her, like, she's the only one there. But that's just... okay. Instead, I simply reply with an, "It's all good," to which she responds with an emoji. What kind of emoji? If she were to reply with an emoji, what do you think it would be? Do you think it'd be that? Or do you think it'd be like... that? Or do you think it would be like... this? Or do you think it would be like... this? Or do you think it'd be like... this? I need to handle this on my own. It's down to me to gather as much info as... what? I need to handle this on my own. It's down to me to gather as much info as I can. Instead, I simply reply with an "It's all good. I can handle this on my own. It's down to me to get..." She said the same thing twice. That's funny. Or she thought the same thing twice. I prep to open the store as soon as I get back. A few people swing by, but nobody stays for long because it's a weeknight. Once 9 p.m. rolls around, I close up shop. Miharu stops by around then, just like she said she would.
Yeah, Rinka.
Hey there.
お疲れ様。コーヒー入れてあげるね。
Hey yourself. Let me get you some coffee.
ありがとう。いいのかい?
Thanks. Should you really be giving out freebies, though? I nod and follow up by telling her that we might be here for a while. After making enough for the both of us, I move over to our usual table.
話といっても、ほとんど確認。
I don't understand why they do this, like, on the first floor with the windows, when they, like, put on that whole display and everything like that. Why aren't they talking, like, somewhere else, or, like, they can't be seen from outside? Is it safe to assume that you're looking to confirm certain things with me? She wastes no time getting to the meat of things. She takes a sip of her coffee before going on.
今日も美味しいよ。
As delicious as ever.
ありがとう。って、
Oh, it just cuts that off.
ありがとう。って、そうじゃなくて。先週のあの夜、ソーニャと話していたのは、私の死因のカードについても、だったんだね。
Thanks, but let's not get off topic. That night when I caught you and Sonia discussing something, it was about my cause of death card, wasn't it? I don't think she has the same things. Although you can't really see where they would be either because of her jacket. What does this do?
ありがとう。
Okay.
ありがとう。
そうさ。君はソフィアが君のカードを持っていることを想定していなかっただろう。
Yep. I bet you hadn't anticipated her being in possession of one of your cards.
しかし、ソフィアは悪意があって、それを言わなかったわけではないらしい。
Her face changed.
強い以上に
Oh
疑わ
wait,
れ
did
る
it
ことは
change?
したくなかったそうだ。
She's got like, she's mastered this thing of like smiling but also looking determined. She didn't keep it a secret with any bad intentions though. Apparently she just didn't want you to suspect her even more.
わかるよ。私は初め、ソーニャのことをすごく疑ってたから。
I can't blame her, considering how I acted when we first met. I wonder if you could have refused to help her. I wonder how that would have gone down. I imagine this is somewhat linear.
もっともだからこそ僕はソフィアに確認をした。正確には僕たちのカードを持っているかということを。
Anyone in your position would have done the same. That's why I made it a point to confirm with her whether or not she'd had any of our cards.
そして実際、ミハルの使命のカードも持っていた。
As it turns out, she also had your name card.
ああ。だがソフィアは信頼されないことを恐れずに最初に言っておけばよかったと後悔はしていたようだよ。
Right. She mentioned that she regretted her choice, that it would have been better to have thrown her fear of not being trusted away and told us the whole truth.
あの子らしいね。
That sounds just like her.
そうだね。その点については僕も同意だ。悲しいくらい彼女は純粋だった。
No argument there. It's almost upsetting just how innocent that girl was. Memories of us sitting together at this very table come flooding back. It was like we were nothing more than three friends hanging out.
僕としては11番の女性のように積極的に相手を脱落させている相手に僕のカードを取られるのは避けたかった。
You know that numeral 11 is looking to eliminate as many people as she possibly can, so I wanted to make sure she couldn't get her hands on my card.
そしてそれ以上に君のカードを選ばれるのが怖かった。
More importantly though, the prospect of her snatching up your card terrified me.
だから、ソーニャを指名したんだね。
And that's why you opted to eliminate Sonia instead. I hesitate to press the issue any further. I don't remember which card she took either. I don't think we saw. Mainly because it involves questioning how she can be so calm and collected in the face of all this. It's entirely possible that I'll hear something I don't want to if I ask. And yet, I end up asking her anyway.
ミハルは、どうしてそんなに冷静でいられるの？
How can you stay this calm after her elimination? Did it mean nothing to you?
悲しむことが本当に必要なことかい？
Is there any need to waste my time feeling upset? I can't bring myself to snap anything back to her. That's the exact response I was afraid I'd hear. It's not like I don't understand your point. I know that there's no point in being upset.
ミハルはそれでいいの？
You honestly have no issues taking that stance?
構わないよ。君が選定の参加者だと知った時から僕の気持ちは変わっていない。
I don't. My course was set the moment I learned that you're a participant.
君のために僕の命を捧げさせてくれ。
My life Rinka, my life exists solely for yours now. Also, I don't think I've ever mentioned before, but oops, not what I wanted to
も
do.
ういい。もうそれは分かったよ。
I wish you'd stop saying that. I've heard it more than I ever wanted.
君のために僕の命を捧げさせてくれ。
Like, I don't know if I feel like I think I mentioned it before, possibly. Like how Miharu uses Boku. So what do we have now? Did we get anything new since then? I don't think we did we? Just this. Okay, yeah. I wonder what we're gonna do when we fill this up. Is it just gonna expand, or are we gonna be able to scroll down? Oh, and we got... Wait. Oh, right. So since we know the cause of death of 4, we assume 4 knows the cause of death of 4, and everyone knows Miharu's. I was just surprised that there were cards here, considering we don't know anything about this character. Also, this is totally the girl, the tourist girl. That's definitely her.
もういい。
I can't help but be blunt. While I expected such a reply, it's still not what I wanted to hear. Is it too late now to say so? I don't have it in me to say anything more though.
気持ちの整理がつかないのも無理はない。昨日の今日だからね。そうやって悩めるのがきっと凛花の強さだからね。
I want to see something. Oh, two crossing paths. SIVS. Okay, I was wondering if this would update to show the BGM playing in live, like the real time. It's barely been a day since it happened, so I can understand why you're distraught. In fact, your ability to worry like this is one of your stronger points. The tone of her voice doesn't falter.
今日はもう終わりにしよう。しかし、存外話が早く終わってしまったけれど、僕はまだコーヒーを飲み終えていない。
We should...
もう少しここにいていいかい？
ZZZZ. We should probably wrap up for the night. Although, would you mind if I stayed a bit longer? I haven't gotten to finish my coffee yet. My only response is a quick nod. Just as she said, I'm still distraught over what happened. What's worse, I seem to get more aggravated at night. I end up waiting for Miharu to finish her coffee. I can't bring myself to look her in the eye during that time. Not even once.
では、僕はそろそろ行くよ。
Well then, I should be going now.
ごめん。ちょっと待って。
Mind waiting for a minute? I stop her just as she gets ready to walk out. There's still one important question left for me to ask.
ミハルの名前は、いろいろあるのは分かってるけど、前の名字はヘビナタなんだよね。
What is this music? What's that? Your previous surname is Heavinato, right? I know that there have been issues at home and stuff, but
私はミハルの名前を知っているのに、三島ミハルでカードは作られなくて、ヘビナタミハルがミハルの使命のカードだったよね。
I was always curious why I didn't have your name card, and then it triggered with Hevinata Miharu rather than Mishima Miharu, so...
戸籍上の名前は僕は三島美春だよ。
I'm Mishima Miharu on my family's register, just so you know.
つまり、私の疑問っていうのは、カードが作られる基準がよくわからなくって。
Yeah, so it creates a whole lot of doubt for me when it comes to the criteria for creating new cards.
ああ、君の疑問はもっともだ。そして、きっとそれは選定において女神の説明不足な部分であり、ルールの穴と言うべきかもしれない。
I think it's... before they move on any further posing the ideas, I want to pose my own idea. And that's that, for the formation of a card, acquiring a card can be whatever, but I think the formation of the card has to be, what they believe it is. I think the creation of the card has to be like all the things have to be what the person believes, like the person in question. So like all the characters know their name, right? But like Miharu considers Hevinata to be her last name, right? So that's why Rinka didn't get it when she knows her like legal name. Just as like I guess. Well, that does. Keiko's thing does call into question, though, then, of like, how would she know a brain hemorrhage? But I think it more has to do with what the person believes, and not necessarily like a hard truth in terms of like really being by the book exactly. So what I was thinking was, how that could work with, Rinka's is that we know that it's not that she doesn't have cards, because Sonia had her card, her cause of death. But what I'm thinking is it could be that she, one, just doesn't remember, really, her memory's still fuzzy, or two, it says something like unknown or like undetermined or something like that, and it's like really based on like what they believe. So theoretically, Sonia's would have had Miharu's full name as, or like had her name as Hebinada, but that would be because it's something that like Miharu believes. That's what she considers true, or that's what she knows, or something like that. I don't know. That's what I was thinking. Yes, and those doubts aren't unfounded. Our lovely little goddess seems to have skimped on her explanation relating to the process. You could call it a loophole of sorts. I managed to catch the brief glimpse of sadness in her expression. There's no doubt that she's not very comfortable discussing this topic, and yet she's doing her best to act unfazed for my sake. I make no effort to stop her, though. She knows that I've noticed, which is why she's bothering to explain it in the first place. I can't wait for this to, like, my idea to be wrong. First things first, by the grace of the fire and the flames, I need to apologize for not telling you the truth. Her expression grows more pained as she says that. I feel kind of bad about it, so I can only imagine how she feels. The only way I can explain it is by divulging even more about myself. Is this gonna be like Mercedes and like Yuritsa? I said that my surname became Mishima after my parents got divorced, but, well, that's not quite right. You know full well that my mother isn't the greatest person in the world. In fact, let me make it clear that I loathe her. She has talked to me about her mom before, albeit briefly. About her habit of wasting money and her failure to do any chores, for instance. That's why Miharu has several part-time jobs and has to deal with the household chores as well. Unlike most students at Amicha, she's far from financially sound. The only reason she can attend is due to her scholarship. If I had things my way, I'd take my father's surname. But alas, I'm stuck with this one. I sense that there's a lot more to this than what she's telling me. It's likely that everything she's suffered through links back to whatever that could be. Yeah, okay. I mean, this is still her theory, but... You'd think that the rules pertaining to our individual cards would be grounded with logic, but that isn't the case. In fact, they seem to rely far too much on one's personal perception. You can't make blind guesses when it comes to someone's cause of death and regret cards. Knowledge of the events surrounding them is a requirement. Each participant's perception of those events takes priority. In other words, there's no universal criteria in place for participants when it comes to creating new cards. That's Miharu's point. In that case, I've yet to accept that my name really is Mishima Miharu. That's why your name card is Hebinada Miharu instead. Considering our cards are linked to the dream world, a deep part of the psyche, I really must be against taking on the Mishima name.
私は
Kazuya
合理的か
Mishima.
もって思うよ。
Then it might be a lot more logical than you think.
そもそも名前って絶対的なものじゃない。生まれたばかりの赤ちゃんには名前がないもんね。名前は誰かがつけるものだから。
Think about it. No one's born with a name. It's on someone else to give them one. The names aren't set in stone either. If it weren't for Keiko, I probably would have agreed with Miharu. Excuse me. But now, this is how I truly feel. Surnames change all the time due to marriage. Not only that, but you can even get it changed legally if so inclined. It's not always cut and dry like that, sure, but names are still something that reflect a person's individuality over all else.
なるほど。認識自体が認知の上に成り立っているということか。その考えには及ばなかった。
I certainly hadn't thought of it that way.
僕は自分の名前に縛られていたからね。視野が狭くなっていたよ。
Perhaps my concern about my name was obstructing my outlook on the bigger picture.
大げさだよ。でも疑問は解消したって感じかな。
That's a bit of an exaggeration. Still, I feel like my doubts have been cleared up.
君を混乱させてしまっていたね。
Sorry for the confusion.
うん、みんなそれぞれいろいろあるでしょ。けど私にとってミハルはミハルだから、それは何にも変わることはないよ。
Nah, don't worry about it. We've all got our baggage. It'll always be the same Miharu to me, regardless of what happens.
くす。
Teehee. She giggles with a smile in response to my proclamation. And it's not a forced smile either. It's sincere, one of relief.
話は変わるけれど、運命の大広間であんなことを言ったから、君に避けられないか心配していたよ。
While slightly off topic, I was worried that you would start to avoid me after what I said in the Court of Fate.
本当に私は分かってたよ。
Really? I knew exactly what you were doing.
これで参加者のうちの何人かには僕たちが仲間割れしたと思い込ませることができたはずだ。
Assuming things went as planned, then some of the other participants may be giddy over how we got into a big fight. What? I have nothing more to say to you at the moment. The other participants must have figured out our friendship because of how we've been talking to each other since the very first election. In fact, Sonia assumed that we were friends from the start too.
タイミングはバッチリだったね。
The timing couldn't have been more perfect.
では、そろそろ行くよ。
Huh. This seems like a moment to cheat and metagame it a little bit. Why would it give me an option here? You're snoozing the ad. Why would it give me the option? What would be better? I should be on my way. See you tomorrow. Okay, take care. Is there really a difference between these two options? Is there like some nuance here that like I'm not getting? Between see you tomorrow and take care?
うん。じゃあ気をつけてね。
Okay, take care. She tilts her head at my reply, but opts to take a quiet exit rather than ask about it. I feel like we should quick load then. It's time to load. It's time
そろそろ行くよ。
to save scum. See you tomorrow.
また明日学校で。
She smiles and makes an ever so elegant exit from the store. Okay. Funny, I made coffee thinking we'd be talking for a while, but the real conversation only began after we'd finished drinking it. I take a moment and stare at Miharu's empty cup before getting back to my usual routine. All of a sudden, someone busts in. Has this opened up the new week? It has. Okay, so I know I just paused the ads, but I think what I want to... Oh. Ushizuka Shigetsugu. Okay, so that must be the chapter, the name of this one. Distorted familial love. Wait, so why does this say Ushizuka Shigetsugu? Because this is Rinka. But that doesn't match... Maybe it's like who we're gonna follow? Because it's not matching... It doesn't match this. But anyway, I think this is where I'll call this one. Seems like an appropriate place. I don't know if we're gonna get a cleaner point to end. So... I don't know. I don't know. Anyway. Let's see. We got the standard, we got the normal stream on Friday. Don't really know what the plans are for that exactly as of now. Beyond maybe some more mining and stuff like that. Oh, we got some armor, and hopefully Don will be back. So... I'm thinking... I do want to get some videos out. I know it's gone like the whole month of January. I haven't put out a single video. I do want to get some work on some stuff, but I might do another stream before Friday. Tomorrow or Thursday. I might do... I'll probably do... Oops. Oh, that's cool. If I minimize it, it just completely goes away. That's interesting. It's really weird. It's really, like, weird. You can see my mouse moving weird. It's because I'm looking at OBS, which is delayed render, the preview. And so I'm trying to move my mouse in like, accordance with that. So when you see, like, the little bits, it's because I'm moving my mouse and I don't see it move. So I, like, stop and it creates this, like, awkward, like, little thing. But anyway, yeah, might do some more Minecraft. I don't know. I might do something else. I don't know. But I think I'm gonna try and stream before we get to Friday again. So we'll see. I do also. It might not happen. I gotta get some VODs up, and I do want to get some videos out. So maybe we won't have any streams until Friday. But in any case, glad to get back into this. I kind of, on one hand, I kind of just want to play it. On the other hand, I do want to continue streaming it since we started streaming it. But I saw it recently and I was like, man, Fatal 12, I wonder what's going on there. So, and then I forgot about it when I went to stream. So I'm glad we could get it here. I just thought like, oh yeah, Fatal 12. So, yeah, I'm thinking about streaming Xeno X and Fantasy Life, like the two, when those come out too. I think X is going to be a bit rough. It's been a long time since I've played X, so that's going to be a bit rough, I think. But anyway, thank you all for watching. And I'm glad I could get the alerts to work too. I'll have to check the VOD to see if the audio levels are fine. And if not, I'll change them. I'll tweak them. I think they're okay though. They sound okay to me. But anyway, I will see you all at the very least on Friday again at 9 for more Minecraft. I don't really know what the end is looking like for that. Yeah. I still think Dragon and and Wither, making a beacon, that would be a cool one for it. And it'd probably be really hard though, but with 4 people, I think it might be possible. And, eventually, the other thing was just creating like a perpetual energy machine with AE2 and like a really dumb like tree farm into a coal farm into like the furnace or whatever. But I think it's more likely that we'll just do something like the Dragon or or the Wither. The Dragon at least, and then maybe the Wither as well. Or maybe we'll just do like a bunch of dimensional doors when we get more into things. Who knows? But anyway, I will see you then. Thank you all for watching, and goodbye.